Are you tired of drinking alone, or worse, with boring people? Hi Minnesota, I'm Meme McGill, and do you want to experience the kind of atmosphere where the drinks flow as freely as the gossip? Then come on down to Stoney's in Rockville, Minnesota. At Stoney's, we don't just serve drinks, we serve connections. Some legal, some not so much. Need a spot to discuss your latest scheme, or just want to unwind after a long day of avoiding responsibilities? Well then come on down to Stoney's where the drinks are cold and the secrets are spicier than our famous Ultimate Bloody Marys. Whether you're planning your next big hustle or just looking for a good time, Stoney's is the place to be. We've got pool tables, karaoke nights, and the only thing more colourful than our drinks is our clientele. Hey look, you didn't hear this from me, but did somebody say $2 cans on Thirsty Thursdays? Why settle for ordinary when you can have extraordinary? At Stoney's Bar, every night's a wild card, and the house always wins, unless you're buying the next round. Just remember that what happens at Stoney's stays at Stoney's. Well, that is until the next town hall meeting. Just check out all of our testimonials. Stoney's Bar, Rockville, Minnesota. You know, if you ever go and look at those testimonials, they're really funny. We've read a couple of them on the stream, but how's it going, everyone? It is Friday in Japan. So this is a Friday stream, but we are going to cover the updates because there's been some self-snitching. And we'll start off, I think we'll start off these streams with a random quote from our non-practicing lawyer. Let's have a look. I have the video of an e-celeb eating her with contaminated trash. Yeah, inadvertent exposure, but not from me. Interesting. I'll read a new quote every time we get a dono. How about that? It'll be your quote. It's like a fortune cookie. So you get a little reward. All right. Where shall we begin tonight? Let's start with Ralph. Ethanol liver Ralph. This is a very real, very not fake photograph. That's a sharp chin, boy. How do you get that? How do you get, like, he's sharpened that with a pencil sharpener or something. He's even got the $20,000 ring on his hand. Pay no attention to whatever this like elephant skin down here is. Just ignore this. Okay. But Ethan Oliver Ralph actually had a bit of a W this week. At least as a W can, as much of as a W as it could have been. Now, as people may remember, Ralph got a contempt of court for streaming Aaron's arraignment when he got the revenge porn charge, and it was issued a nationwide body hunt, which is a bit rare, and honestly it was probably too much for what Ralph was doing. But Ralph decided to, Ralph was very upset about this because he wanted to go see his son Xander for Christmas, and he was saying that that steel toe Aaron was preventing him from going to see his boy on Christmas, even though it's the judge that started the contempt of court, not Aaron. Doesn't matter. But he decided to plea. He sent a Christmas letter to the judge saying, look, I've got cats. They don't fold the bullshit. I want to go see my son and I don't want to get arrested. How about we just have a Zoom meeting? The judge was like, no, denied. Not even going to acknowledge this with a response. So then second option, they got a plea. So we'll go through that. You can see that some filings were uploaded to the Stearns County petition to enter guilty plea index number 6. Now let's see. The preliminary settlement offer for Ethan Ralph was based upon the investigation completed at the time and expressly contingent upon the correct calculations of the defendant's criminal and traffic history and presumptive guideline sentence. The following settlement offer is made in this case. Pleading guilty to misdemeanor contempt of court. Presumptive sentence, 90 days, or stayed for 1 year. So basically what this means is he's got a 90-day sentence, but it's delayed, stayed, whatever you want to call it. Provided Ralph's a good boy, he doesn't have to go to jail. That's what it means. Let's see. He also has, offer probation to the court, probation to community corrections officer 1 year, no jail, a fine of $500, restitution, evaluation or assessment, blah, 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 blah. Basically, Ralph had to pay $500 to be able to go see his son for Christmas. And honestly, this is the best thing that Ralph could have done. Now, there is some rumblings that Ralph may have handed over some information, some DMs perhaps, to the cops. We don't know. There's no evidence of that, but it is an interesting theory. But this is basically the best case scenario you could hope for. It's better than staying in Mexico forever. It's better than never seeing your children again. It's $500 to be Rekieta's friend. It's a bit pricey, I think, to get that photo op, but it is what it is. And what else we got here? He also waived his attorney right, and I'm entering a plea of guilty based on the following plea agreement with the prosecutor. If plead guilty to the sole count, misdemeanor command of court, 90 days in jail, stayed for a period of a year, no upfront jail time, probation with the court unsupervised, pay a fine of amount of $500, and the applicable surcharges. Now, apparently this is twice the regular fee. So it could have been worse, I suppose, but it could have been much better. Also, it looks like an $89 law library fee. Remain law-abiding and no similar offenses. Warrant to be quashed upon entry of guilty plea. And this was accepted, which means that Ralph is officially free to enter the country, but also that in the case of the Minnesota 4, the Rekieta crime family, 1 down, 3 to go. Ralph is officially guilty in his contempt of court. So there's your little Ralphiverse update. But like I said, this is probably the best that Ralph could have hoped for. And despite making fun of people online, I typically want what's best for them. And while it is very funny to think that he was going to be in purgatory in Mexico forever, it's nice. It's nice that he can go see one of his kids for Christmas. So good for him. Good for him. But 1 down, 3 to go. 1 down, 3 to go. When's the divorce arc? You mean for Rekieta? I don't know. Andrew seems to think it's very soon. If you're referring to Nick and Kayla, some people were talking about that because it was on my last Friday stream. We had Andrew on. BP's pretty busy recently because he just had a kid, so he might not be able to make it for a while. He might be able to make it tonight. We don't know. We'll see. We'll see. He might be on later, and Max should be on later as well, I believe. But we'll see. But yes, there was. We were talking a little bit about the Rekietas last time, and Andrew let it loose that he thinks that Nick is going to initiate a divorce, and that kind of surprised me because I was thinking a divorce initiation would come from Kayla, if anybody. But it kind of makes sense. Some people are having difficulty finding that clip though. But I told the clippers that if they want to clip the Friday streams after the Goes members only, that's fine. But if you want to see the full conversation, that's on the Friday Turkey stream. It's pretty easy to find in the member section, but you have to join as a member for that. Alrighty. So now let's go into, let me get rid of this. Don't need that anymore. What should we do next? We'll go into this stuff. This is the Melton stuff. Now, Melton, and this was clipped by TV's Will Heron. Melton went onto a stream.
I predict.
Oops, sorry. Let me just restart that. He went onto a stream called, I think, The Hugh Easy. And I've never seen these characters before. There's an Australian guy there, so apology for an Australian accent that's going to be assaulting your ears in a second. But this one was called Hughesy Has Melton Talk About Aaron's Internet Hack, the April Draw, Crack in Im Holte's Relationship. Now, there's actually some interesting details I've learned behind the scenes, and by behind the scenes, I watched another clip that was explaining it. So it's not like I got private information for anyone. But this Aussie guy, apparently he's a snake. He's a big snake. Before going on this stream, he messaged Aaron, and he said to Aaron, "Hey, Melton's going to come onto this stream. I can press him for you. I'll do anything for you, Aaron. Just let me be on the Steel Show." Well, actually, I don't think he said that he wanted to be on the Steel Toe Show, but he did message Aaron and asked him if there was any questions he wanted to press Melton with prior to the to this. And apparently he's kind of like that before. So this Australian guy, don't trust him. Don't trust him as far as you could throw him. And he's a big boy, so that's not very far. All right, let's see what they have to say in this first. There's like 3 clips up here we're going to check out tonight before we go into the other stuff. Right.
I predict tonight.
Let me know if it's muted and everything as well. I think it's fine.
On his show, he'll be like, I was out cigar shopping, or I would have if I even saw that. You're lucky I didn't see it.
Desperately unhappy Gilmore.
Aaron watched Red Bar. I guess he's going after my laugh. But I didn't know I had a new.
Okay, so Red Bar is like, he's a live streamer. I've seen a few clips of him, but I've never actually seen his show. Because I don't know when he streams. I thought he was like streaming off YouTube or something. But he's very popular in the Dabbleverse, and he's been a long time hater of Melton. And this seems like a pretty easy thing to do. Dislike Melton. Although the Melton fans are always coming in and telling me, like, no, you just have to watch 8 hours of Melton streaming and then you'll get it and it's funny. And I'm like, I don't want to watch any more of this pedo. I don't want to watch any more of him, okay? But apparently he's an acquired taste. I doubt it. But Red Bar had a long career where he was making fun of Melton. And Melton, I think, is like 59, I heard. But he's back on Red Bar's radar, and Melton has a new Woody Woodpecker laugh, like or something. I don't know. It's pretty bad. So Melton is now both excited and I think Aaron is excited as well, because they both are big Red Bar fanboys. And so they're very excited to be mentioned by him again. He's 62. There's no way. There's no way he's 62. There's no way. I don't believe you. Stop lying to me.
Fake laugh, but that makes sense. Because I don't know if you've been paying attention, but like I'm on the run and I'm crumbling. So I have to develop laughs. No, I honestly have no idea why Red Bar is he after me? I don't know. People are like, he loves you now. People are like, he's coming. The watch is starting again. It's like, oh no.
Says so basically,
but we all do. Don't we all have that to some extent? Even if you know, like everyone's got blind followers who it's why they spend all day arguing. You know, I try to tell people like, stop arguing with these.
They are right,
They're
guys.
There's 2 Aussie guys. That's twice as much as there should be.
Yeah, they're taking me down, man. I watch that clip. Aaron, you can tell Aaron thinks that like him and Mike are like coming after me.
It came.
Now this is in regards to the Aaron. Oh, sorry, not Aaron. Well, it is about Aaron, but it's in regards to Nick and Melton accessing Aaron's private computer account now, and Gmail and all the secrets. Apparently, they've got revenge porn of him now as well. There's a bit of jokes about that coming up in this. But what happened is they committed digital trespassing and perhaps some other things, and so many people were A-logging so quickly that they realized they fucked up in a big way. Now, in this clip, Melton's going to self-snitch and say it was his idea all along for him to do this, which means that he convinced a lawyer to do something very illegal and very against his own code of ethics, and possibly could lead to disbarment if it is true and proven. Because in this, they say that they're reading the emails between Aaron and his attorney, which would be spying on confidential communications between an opposing lawyer in Rekieta's case, which is a very big no-no. 20,000 IRD. Irham says, please cover the recent Destiny news with Max Mora. We might do that. We might talk about that. But I think other people have got a pretty good handle on what the Destiny shit is. Someone else did ask me about that though. But here's your Rekieta quote from the Balldoverse generator. Let's have a look. Jesus Christ, Stephen Hawking. The only thing that ISIS has accused me of having lies in the same house that a Christian resides. All the children told the truth when interviewed. They have never, ever seen or ingested an illegal menu, period. Very good. Very good. Melton has some demons. Yeah, we might play the Third World Aristocrat video after this when Melton talks about himself to remind you about who he is, because some people may have forgotten, but today I will remind them.
Across to me like Aaron got a little bit drunk on Red Bar because he started revealing a lot more about the Google account stuff, like, and the charges.
Right.
Like he got a little more cocky and excited about it.
Now, here's the thing. It doesn't matter how much Aaron reveals about his own email account because it's his account. It's not illegal for him to look at his own shit. So if Aaron wants to talk about it, that's fine. That's what he does on his show, right? But if Melton talks about it, he's just giving more information to potential prosecution. It's ridiculous. And apparently the Stearns County is just really bored. They're so bored that they're willing to chase Ralph to Mexico to make him pay $500. Also, you know what's funny? I just thought about this, but that means that Ralph paid his court fines before Nick did as well. So Ralph is potentially a better lawyer than Nick because he got a plea deal faster than Nick. And he paid off his court fine faster than Nick. So isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing?
Now, Patrick, obviously I know you're not going to jail, but given how bored the St. Cloud police seem to be, are you worried about the inconvenience of
wow? So you let this guy Dean come on here under the guise of we're all gonna hang out. You let this Dean guy come on. You see what he's doing? He's snaking in like a little piece of shit. You know, you came, no, I know what you did, Dean. You came in here acting like you were part of a show. This was gonna be fun. But now you see, I don't. You know what? If you just set up an interview with me, if you just asked me for a day and a time where I could prepare for these questions, you're being a cunt. He's being a rat fuck.
He's being a cunt, but not a good cunt. But yeah, it's kind of funny because he literally did just snake in, and he tried to go and get Aaron's permission to do this as well. But apparently Aaron told him just fuck off. Although I don't know. I haven't seen the DMs or anything. But allegedly, he messaged Aaron to try and get his approval to come in and press Melton about his illegal actions.
Uzi, and I don't appreciate you sending out links.
We have a guest backstage.
Yeah, I've said from the beginning that I mean, look, if an investigation got open, like sure, someone's gonna come talk to me, or I'm gonna be like this thing about prison and everything. Like nobody even understands.
Now I don't know where these allegations of Melton being in prison are coming from. I mean, I think he deserves to be in prison for a different reason. But the digital trespassing thing, I wasn't really worried for Melton, although it'd be funny to see something bad happen to him. I was more concerned in Nick's case because Nick is out on bail and he has several court cases against him currently. So having these additional things come in is not a good thing to happen. It could very easily violate his bail, revoke it, and then he'll be going to prison until his trial date, which could be up to a year from now. We don't know. Trial can take a long time. Like the next hearing is like in December 17th, I think. But that's just going to be another plea deal, right? If he does something bad, and these are charges that came after he got arrested, so it would actually violate his bail bond, right? We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Now, is something going to come out of it? Probably not, honestly. But it's so wild that they're just so flagrantly showing people how much they've done.
Nobody even knows what the fuck they're talking about. No one's hacked anything.
Can you give some more?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you actively hacked someone or if they just left their... Like, that's like saying, I didn't steal the car, officer. The keys were already in the ignition. This is ridiculous. I didn't hotwire. Like, what are you talking about? No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if Aaron was so stupid that he left his PC logged in. You did something illegal, and then you bragged about it, and now they're trying to backtrack. They're trying to backtrack and say it was all jokes. You know, it was all a work. You all fell for their sneaky ruse. But they were talking about this in their Discord weeks before any of the information came out. So is that part of the ruse? They're just so 5D chess-brained that they're going back in time and laying down these like their cover story? I don't think so. I don't think so. And the more that people are talking about it, the more they're getting nervous about it. So they like to joke about it. But when you see the clips from Melton's stream, they're all like, oh shit, did we actually do something really bad? And these guys on this stream look pretty worried as well. They're pretty concerned for Melton, I think.
Context of to what information you were given to build
so sure. So Nick messaged me one night, late in the night.
Now this is just so sad because Melton is Nick's bought friend. Like Ralph had to pay $500 to take this this photograph. That's what the cost. That's what Ralph's friendship cost. Nick's friendship cost Ralph, I should say. But Nick has so few friends to talk to now that he has to hang around in Melton's chat. And we're gonna get to what Nick's been saying recently. He's been pretty quiet recently. Some taking that as a bad sign for him because he does have a compulsion to both be embarrassed. It's a humiliation fetish, and also to get attention. So the fact that he's been so quiet on Twitter is, I would suggest, a pretty bad sign. And we might know why now, but I'll talk about that when we get to the Nick parts. But yeah, this is Nick's last friend, the last person he talks to. He pays him money to talk to him, and then he messages him late at night with this hot detail because he's just looking for anyone that hates Aaron. And Aaron's not a good guy. Like, he's just the shiniest turd in the whole story. That's what's amazing, is that Aaron keeps fucking up, but people keep fucking up around him worse. So I don't know. Like I've described it as all of Aaron's enemies are just slipping on banana peels. So it's just another win for the toe, unironically, like every other day. But yeah, Melton gets a shower call, but it's a friendly shower call.
And he's like, Aaron left my computer logged in. And I go, do you know what that means? You know how much shit we could get? And then I sent him a go to my PC link. You ever heard of that?
All right. What the fuck? So Melton comes out and admits that it was his idea. The whole harebrained scheme was his idea. Nick should know better. I mean, Nick has been spying on Aaron for the last I guess he said like 8 months or something, like it was a long time. Now, then he sends him a go to my PC link. Now, I think that's a remote viewing, like a team. You know, let me see. Go to my PC. Go to my PC. Yeah, remote desktop software that allows a user to access the computers remotely. So that means he's sending Nick a link that allows Melton to remotely view or access Nick's computer. So not only are they committing digital trespassing right then and there, but he's also potentially just getting details on Nick as well. You can't trust this guy. Like, holy shit, this guy could have a bunch of private documents from Nick as well. He's just waiting for the appropriate time to backstab him. Now, typically when you use like now I haven't used Go to My PC myself, but when you use like a remote desktop setup, usually you have to accept that the other person's PC can access your PC, and then when you finish your session, they can't access again anytime. But I don't know how they set it up. And Nick's just a boomer enough that maybe he's set up in such a way that Melton can just see everything he does whenever he wants. Like he might just have a back door into the Rekieta Balldoverse now. And these guys have actually talked about how they're willing to backstab Nick and how they don't care if he goes to prison. These are the people he wants to hang around with. People that will laugh at him to his face while they take his money and then sell him down the river just to get one more minute of making fun of Aaron Imholte. It's insane. It's insane.
That's one of my sponsors. Go to my PC. And
I would have to assume he's joking about using his sponsor for to do something illegal. That's a weird thing. That's a weird thing to do. Like, hey, this is one of my sponsors, and I used it in the action of committing a crime against the man that I spend all day talking about. What a I don't know. What goes on in these people's minds? I have no idea.
It lets me get on his computer, and then I moused around a little bit through Aaron's account. And very quickly I found out, the images that are there, the self-pleasuring videos that this guy takes on his own phone.
Whoa,
and uploads
hang on.
to the cloud. I mean, so we started.
Now, I think that he's telling some tall stories here. I don't think these actually exist, because I think it would have been leaked already if they did. But he implies that Aaron's got videos of himself wanking, and also there's nudes of April. And he pretends to be a comedian, I guess. But it's not very funny. I don't think I've ever seen him say anything that's like funny at all. But he kind of goes over the top and says like, yeah, we got like April's nudes, we made wallpapers out of it. I think he's trying to be like over the top to try and make it sound like what they did was just so ridiculous it couldn't have actually happened. Except there's plenty of evidence that it did.
Going through, private.
True, never trust an Aussie.
Lawyer conversation. Is that what they're called? Lawyers? And then, so they're like, I think we're going to get him. And we were laughing about that. And then nudes of April. We downloaded so many nudes of April and made wallpapers. We both were like trying to make the coolest wallpaper. We had a contest. And
so the difference between you and Aaron answering my questions is Aaron would just yell at me. You'll go on a ridiculous fucking explanation and give me nothing. Thanks. Appreciate it.
This is 100% true, and no one will ever believe it. Nick.
Now, I do think that Melton is exaggerating here, but I think that he's exaggerating so he can tell the truth while also trying to cover his tracks. Do I believe that that this remote viewing access of Nick's computer happened and they looked at Aaron's shit together? Yes, I believe that happened. Did all this other stuff happen? Probably not. Probably not. He's just trying to be funny, but he needs to try harder.
Has never, ever, ever told me that he has access to Aaron's Gmail account. Like that.
Now they literally talked. This is just a straight-faced lie. They talked about having access to Aaron's emails, and they talked about an email he specifically sent to a radio show where he did a PowerPoint presentation or something because Aaron wants to get back on the air. He wants to be like a real radio man. He doesn't want to be an internet radio man. He's not very proud of being an internet radio man. He wants to be a real radio man. He wants to have a real show. He wants to say on the air unironically again. That is such a specific piece of information that Aaron could very easily, immediately prove or disprove what Melton did just by confirming the existence of this PowerPoint. Now, Aaron has also said that he's in contact with the police about this, and when asked if charges were coming for Nick in this case, he didn't say yes, but he didn't say no. And he specifically said that he won't say no on this. So, again, even if you are joking, Like, even let's backtrack a bit and say this is all a work. It's all a work. Melton's not the kind of guy that you want to taunt the police with. If they decide to come onto his computer and take a bit of a look, looking for the Imholte PowerPoint presentations, whatever, I think they're going to find some pretty weird shit that Melton doesn't want the cops to see. He's playing with fire here in a big way.
100% or a Google account or whatever. I assumed all of this. I just assumed it.
But what do you mean assumed? Just have all the facts right, and it says, "Oh, I just made it up in a dream." It's all. I don't know. What are you talking about? Come on now. Give people a little bit of credit.
What did he taunting Aaron about it?
But what did he tell you?
No
did
idea.
you just? Sorry, did this just pop up in your head that you decided to run with it, or was there something that Nick told you that made you go, "I can make something of this"?
I think we were just talking about when Aaron used to do shows over there, and then I deduced that, Aaron probably logged in. You know the way like Aaron broadcasts through like OBS and the YouTube backend. He doesn't use StreamYard, so like I figured he would probably log into his computer. And I don't remember if I don't even know if I asked, but Nick never ever said to me or whatever that he had access to this. And I
no, what the fuck? He just like 2 minutes ago he said that Nick messaged you late at night and he said that he had access to Aaron's shit. So what is it? He can't even keep his story straight for 4 minutes.
Just thought it'd be funny to run with it. And I had no idea he was putting out the screenshots of that stuff or anything. So like it's like no one will ever kind of believe. Look, I don't know if he did. I have no clue what Nick did. I have no clue. But
Killian says, "Ever heard of sarcasm dummy?" No, I haven't.
Everything I've said has pretty much been out of my ass. I was seated with something and then I just ran with it.
But do you think, and this is my opinion on Nick Rekieta, it's kind of like the guy who goes in and starts a fight, gets the shit kicked out of him, and then tries to trash talk the winner for being a thug. It's like, but Nick, everything.
What is this guy saying? Does anyone understand this Hugh Easy guy? What did he mean by that?
That Aaron has done that's so bad, you were all in on it.
Right.
So that's why I just think.
Yeah, I assume this is like his edition of his drunk stream, because like on Friday I do a drink stream. Well, we don't get as drunk as we used to. I just have a couple beers or a couple drinks or something. So I don't want to. I guess I can't go too hard on this guy. Maybe he's just had a couple drinks and this is how it turned out. And I believe this is from. I may as well show it. Like I'm watching it on TV Will Heron's clip channel, but the original stream is on Huey Easy Entertainment, and it's a members only stream, so I can't see what this actual thing is. I assume it was probably something similar. They had a few drinks or something, but maybe the Aussie guy could translate into something I can understand. Who can say?
The problem is Nick has gotten out there and has sort of tried to dirty Aaron's good name.
Now hold on. In your opinion, you think Nick has gone around trying to ruin Aaron's good name and not vice versa?
Yes. All Nick does is try to dirty Aaron's name. He spends all day in Melton's chat talking about how much he hates Aaron, like some vengeful ex-girlfriend. And we're going to go into those later on. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Then he tries to, not defame him, but try and make his name worse with all the lawsuits he's setting against him. And any opportunity he gets. He literally, in Kayla's recent document, they said that they were getting swatted most likely by Aaron Imholte. And I think it's actually Imholt, not Imholte, but I'm too far gone. I can't say anything else now. So he absolutely is trying to ruin Aaron's name. And I think that Nick thinks that if he does that, he can somehow get out of his own charges and he can pin it all on Aaron. I don't see how that's going to work, because Aaron left the whole cover like 7 weeks before. No, was it 7 weeks? It was 7 weeks, right? Was it 7 weeks? I want to say 7 weeks. 7 weeks before the drug raid even happened.
Yes, Nick would never come on to talk about boxing with me. But yeah, I think that this Nick Rekieta guy, I don't know how he's skated by and all this stuff. That if you have kids and you're having a party where there's
he hasn't skated by. He's got felony charges. Everyone keeps going like, when is Nick going to be held accountable? It's like he's the only one being held accountable. He has charges. What are we talking about? How is he?
What do you mean the only one being held accountable? I mean, Ralph just paid $500. No, the entire team. They're going to have to be held accountable individually. I think April's probably going to get off with the lighter sentence, obviously, because she's got the strongest claim. That was just staying over, just the nanny, right? Just the nanny. But the thing is, she's never going to turn on Nick, or at least not yet. Maybe she will eventually. I guess she needs to understand that she's nothing to Nick, because she's absolute crazy, like wear your skin kind of person, I think. And I mean, she should turn on Nick. She should be the first one to squeal gets the best deal, as they say. Now, Ralph has already pleaded guilty, and he perhaps has handed over some information. We don't know. That may be the reason for Nick's silence. But the deal's only going to get worse from now on.
Skated by. He could go to prison for a very long time. Like,
the only way Nick will go to prison for a very long time is if he keeps filing his own documents. If he just stays out of it and lets his lawyer do the hard work, do the real work, the work of a lawyer, then Nick will be okay, and he'll probably just get like deferment and probation for a couple of years, probably a hefty fine, and maybe he'll have to do like random drug testing for a long time, something like that, and probably no contact with April. It seems like that's actually coming through. If Nick just shuts his trap and lets a lawyer do the talking, he should be fine, and my $20 should be in my wallet and not in Pepsi Man's wallet, as we have a bet on the outcome of this court case.
How's he skating?
What's April going to do for money? That bitch doesn't work.
He's got a very profitable YouTube channel. The children can run it.
Can he just not talk about children for one conversation?
I don't know. I just think that there's something really weird about Nick Rekieta. Like, who the fuck watches Steel Toe and thinks, I want to fuck her? Let's get that guy.
Everyone. Have you been hanging out on the message boards for Steel Toe? Everyone wanted to fuck April. Everyone but me.
April may be a Minnesota 4. But if you had to fuck, marry, kill one of their people, like this is your options, chat. Who's it going to be? FMK. Who's it going to be? I think, like, ironically, like, April's probably the best looking out of these 4 people. Now, again, that's not a great selection, but I mean, if you've got a wife that's not putting out and watching Star Trek all day, and by Nick's own words, destroyed body, absolutely ruined by having his children. She sacrificed her body for his children. And now he doesn't want to bone her, or she doesn't want to bone him, or she's so zonked out on Xannies that she just wants to, see what Quark and Cisco and I'm trying to remember, Odo are all up to in the gang on the promenade. Makes sense. It makes sense. Let's see. F. Kayla, marry Ralphie, K. April. There you go. Nobody's going to top this one. F. Kayla, marry April, K. Nick. Okay. I think I like this one best. You'd be his third wife, right? Isn't it right? Like, was Ralph? No, Ralph wasn't married to the first. No, it would be the third wife. I forgot about Nora. For a second. So you would be the third wife. But I guess you could also be the third baby mama. But one of his baby mamas isn't one of his wife. There we go. Let's continue.
Hey,
that's how you know that show was not that popular, because they find her attractive. You know what I mean? It's not like if you get like some sexy Hispanic fucking woman on, I can understand that. April looks like me. I wouldn't fuck me, right, Dane?
Apparently, April looks like this Irish drunk fellow. That's a hard one. That's a mean thing to say. Holy shit! I feel like I need to have a drink to understand this guy. Although I'll drink later. We'll get past all the Rekieta stuff, because I know people want to see that the first. So I put it up front for you guys. For you.
No, definitely not. That's the thing, though. When Patrick, you first stumbled across Steel Toe, they were riding high, and April was on that show, and she was getting a lot of simp love, and I think that is a lot of reason.
So I don't know too much about the Steel Toe deepest lore, but am I correct in saying that April was on the show and that she would take off her clothes, like if they got like a big donor or something, like if it was like $50 and she strips down to bikini? Am I correct in saying that?
Why they were hitting goals so regularly, and Aaron wasn't such a beggy monster. You know, you've been called, like, you've been said to have run April off the internet. Do you think that is kind of what you did to the show, is take away those simp dollars?
No, I think when you go back through it, first of all, yeah, I think that happened. Like, first of all, I just started talking about the show, and then people started agreeing with it and going like, oh yeah, this guy is. And then you started seeing all the little cracks in their relationship. These things exist. When you see the fights that they have on camera, you have to imagine the off-camera stuff. He's so possessive and controlling.
Well, I mean, they got divorced, so yeah.
We saw him yell at her for coming down too late, too early. He likes to have his basement time. She can only come down if she's too late and fixes her hair. He yells. If she comes down too early, he yells while he's prepping. So like I think these cracks were there, and that's what caused the divorce. Like, I put that divorce thing up in the middle of last year before any of this conflict really got ratcheted up, because I just saw the cracks. And there's no way a husband and wife can work together when one of them is that insecure. A lot of people can work together, but he's super insecure and has to like look better than her on the air, which will result in him belittling her and shitting.
This is some weird armchair psychology stuff. I guess it melted the prognosticator. He predicted a marriage of a guy that had already been divorced once. What are the chances? Apparently higher than 50%. I mean, that's what it is, right? like even if he did see the cracks. He saw the cracks. He read the writing on the wall. Like that's a prediction you're always going to get 50% right or wrong on, because that's just how prevalent divorce is.
On her, and I think once she started getting criticism, and the show started getting criticism, that's when they leaned into the like, oh, let's bring her out in a bathing suit. Let's lean into. She started wearing like more sheer clothing. I don't know if part of that was like.
So she's a slag. We know that. I can see the tattoos. I know. Wow, the real big deepest insight into the Steel Toe show.
Nick was buying her stuff or something, you know, but she went from this like almost like substitute teacher type garb to this really risque, like, you know, nets and leather and like the shitty Midwestern turquoise jewelry everywhere.
Yeah, so she did the Twitch streaming arc. She started off being, hey guys, it's cute gaming girlfriend here to entertain you. And it's a hot tub stream. And it's an ear licking stream. Yeah, it's a tale as old as, well, the internet, I guess, in this case.
It was just like, ugh.
And
so she got the trashier.
Yeah, she did. She absolutely did get trashier. Like, I think before she started dating Nick, she didn't have this awful tattoo here, which is... So the tattoo has some funny lore as well. She got this at like the Minnesota Tattoo Festival, which was just like this, you know, just a tat festival, whatever. But Nick and April got caught on camera there, and also April and Kayla were swapping clothes between there. They didn't even bring a change of clothes. They just thought like, we'll switch clothes. That's like wearing a new set of clothes, right? But you can see it's got two wolves and the big wolf. This is Nick, the alpha male, and you've got his two bitches here. That's what it means. The deepest lore in this tattoo. Wow, who could figure out the meaning of this one? There, but there you go. 3 wolves and a moon, and there you go. All right, that's the first one. Next one is called Nobody Likes Onions, which is Melton. Answers for Aaron's kids' comments. That Aussie guy goes in on Melton. Predictions for outcome. All right, let's take a look. This is again from TV's Will Harron. And he likes to hide his little logo somewhere. He was hiding it over here before. I wonder if it's going to change places. So I always have a little bit of a game trying to spot where it is. Also, I forgot to put my cats on.
Talk a lot about Red Bar, and I get it.
But don't talk about it because I don't want to talk about it. It's just like everyone who wants to talk about it, their question is like, what did you do after he destroyed your life? And it's just like, that's not what happened. So like, what are we talking about?
No, and that's kind of what I say. Like, if people say that Red Bar destroyed you, and I'm like, well, I watch him. I find it entertaining. All
like,
that, like, whatever. But no, just in terms of now, do you kind of think that he's seen people are going after you for certain little things, and he's like, oh, there's a chance to maybe fucking
I don't.
on that again?
I honestly didn't see the full segment. I only saw the clip of Aaron going over it. But like my first thing is like, I hope he's trolling, because if he's legit going like, look at this laugh, it's like okay. I have no comeback for that. Like he's laughing in a way we've never seen before. It's like, I didn't realize you were chronicling my laughs like the calls of rare birds. Like,
I mean, if you've got a funny laugh, like yeah, the people are going to make fun of your laugh. Like, I think Melton should be happy that people are making fun of his laugh compared to the other things they could be talking about.
Okay, I have a new laugh, everybody.
Not for nothing, you do laugh like chipmunk.
Yes. The one he played was me laughing. I guess I described it as giggling. Like it's literally like giggling.
Laughing is giggling. What the fuck are you talking about?
But like,
I like a giggle.
Guilty. Like, if that's what we're doing, I giggle. Where do I sign?
I've actually got audio of how April laughs, which is get two up her arsehole.
Is this? I assume that this is Huey Easy's soundboard. Can we just stop doing soundboards? Like, soundboard, they're always a bad idea. The only acceptable soundboard is if the sound is much quieter than the regular stream, because they're just like audio rape. I hate them. I assume it was from this guy's stream and not Will Heron. So I think Will Heron has a good sense not to include that sort of that loud of a clip.
There you go. Yeah, but I just think that when it comes to and not to interrupt you, Dean, who interrupted me, see how we do. We're fighting on the air, but with this Aaron and Nick Rekieta stuff, my whole thing is just like it genuinely seems like well, not even it seems to me. I can't predict what the outcome of all this shit's going to be. Like what is the end game of this feud? Do they all get kicked offline? Do they all go back to fucking each other? Does Slam Piece get her solid toss by April? I would watch that, even though April's ugly. What do you predict?
I think when people say that, like, it's Nick sweeping, we haven't really got to hear Nick. You know, everybody wants Nick to be contrite, I think, is what they're looking for. I think
we haven't got to hear Nick. Nick won't fucking shut up about his case. Like, what are you talking about? He gave away all the information. He came out on Twitter and admitted to the swinging. He admitted to the coke use. He admitted to everything. What are you doing? That's one of the reasons I think that he's going to take a plea, is because he's given out so much information now. He's basically burnt his own ships, and he can't go back. He can't. There's no chance he takes this to trial in my mind, because he actually admitted on his own account that he was doing the thing. He said, I was doing mountains of coke. He said April was his girlfriend and they broke up and he wished he could see him. So he's admitted to everything. He's a lawyer. He should fucking know better. What are you doing?
Everybody's looking for some sort of apology or explanation or, you know, again, contrition, I think. Like, they want him to, like, acknowledge what he did was fucked up and wrong and that he won't do it again and that he's learned his lesson. That's what humans want to hear, right? Just in these situations.
Yes, when someone does something wrong, typically you want them to show remorse, because it makes you feel better thinking that they've learned from their mistakes and they can improve, rather than continue to destroy their life. And it's even more so when you have a family you're looking after. And Nick's case is kind of unique because he paraded around as the family man, as the trad dad. And that's why a lot of people are upset about this. I think they mentioned that in this clip or the next one, where it says, like, well, you know, it's just coke. Who gives a shit? And honestly, I don't give a shit if people do coke. But when you say to your audience for years, and you build your career for years, you get people to trust you for years, saying that you're a family man, you're a virgin when you met your wife, you've only been with each other, cocaine is bad. Like, Nick literally said cocaine is bad for kids. And then this happens. He literally spent weeks making fun of Jack Murphy, and then he's going to the wife swapping parties. That's why people are upset. And that's why people want to believe that this person can change. But instead of just saying nothing or just apologizing or doing any of the smart moves, they see him doubling down. They see him getting aggressive at people on Twitter and his friends in private, telling them that they should rope themselves if they think that he actually did these things. Like he said this in his private DM group, so they promptly got leaked. So of course people are angry. What do you think? Arseholes Iraq says the foamer with their train whistle on the ready. I got it ready just for you. Yes. There you go. That's not too loud though. And that's not a soundboard. Making a sound is not the same as having a soundboard. It's different. But yes, I'm not a foamer, by the way. I like trains. I don't love trains.
And they're getting mad because they hear Aaron saying that, but they don't hear Nick saying that. But again, Nick has pending charges, and anyone who doesn't understand that, why he can't come out and go, I'm sorry I did coke around my kid. If you don't understand.
But Nick has already said that he did the coke. He admitted it. There is no defense of his actions now. What a stupid thing to say. Oh, he can't. And don't get me wrong, Nick shouldn't have said those things. He shouldn't have said those things at all. But he did. So there's no reason he can't apologize. It's like, well, he will incriminate himself if he says that he did coke. He already said he did coke. Now what?
Understand that. Then you just, I don't know what to do. No one should be going to jail. Aaron shouldn't be going to jail. Nick shouldn't be going to jail. These are all people with kids. Do I think Aaron is probably the most detrimental person in his kid's life? Yes. Do I think long-term what?
Aaron's the guy. Aaron's the most detrimental person, not the guy that brought cocaine into his house and dropped a cocaine bullet next to Aaron's 3-year-old child. Aaron's the worst person. Now, Aaron is responsible for bringing Nick into his house. Don't get me wrong. But I don't know. I don't think that's doesn't quite track when you think about it.
Aaron does and says about his children and what he does and his behavior on his program will hurt his kids more than anything Nick Rekieta has done? Probably. You couldn't stop it. When Aaron's hungry, when Aaron wants nummy in his tummy, he came out, he saw the little drip on April's mouth. He goes, could I?
All right, so I think that's the baby bird allegations. So if you're not up to date with everything, apparently, as said by Nick in Melton's chat, Aaron likes to sweep up the coom, and let's face it, they're both sucking each other off. They're going to gay 90s. They're naked together. Nick's licking Aaron's ears. You think he's not taking a taste of the recipe? Come on now. Come on now. They're all swapping every imaginable bodily fluid between each other. It's just the way it is.
Slurped it up. Maybe he went down in her box. Maybe he got a silly straw and just sucked it like a madman. We don't know.
What a vile imagery, by the way. That's actually disgusting.
Either way, it's not anything to do with Nick. You can't help what happens to the honey after it leaves the hive.
You've said...
What a thing to say. What the fuck? Ugh. It's funny that, like, not only is Melton a disgusting person, like, physically, but his internal personality reflects his outward appearance. Imagine that. Imagine that.
Some things which are very uncomfortable to say the least, right? Yeah. And Aaron recently, despite the hilarity of his wording of he's threatened to have sex with your ex-stepdaughter, the facts are you kind of did. You know what I mean? There is, I remember it.
So the Australian snake, the red-bellied black snake, that's an Australian snake for you. That was the only one I could think of. He does press, like, despite him trying to go sneaky to Aaron and say, like, what do you want me to press Melton on before the stream, and Aaron telling him to fuck off, he did actually at least bring up some good points against Melton, to his credit. He's a snake, but he's an Australian snake.
You went on a rant.
I never said first of all, it wasn't a threat. It wasn't a threat.
No,
that's no language. Clear.
No,
it was a consensual encounter once she turned 18.
That's
so actually, if I think I remember this correctly, Melton said that no, he wouldn't go after the daughter because she's much too tight. But then after she was 18, he would probably try and fuck Aaron's daughter. Now we might listen to this a little bit, then we'll break it up with the Third World Aristocrat clip. But we'll see what Melton says first.
No involvement of children, There's no, and first of all, no one's going to do it. Again, no one's interested in this. Again, this is.
Now, Melton has, unfortunately for him, a long career, and his entire body of work is just making pedophilic jokes. So, I mean, be your own judge on this.
It's a comedy program if you can't recognize jokes. But we start
They're just jokes. Just talk about it every day. It's just jokes. What are you worried about? It's just like, and I don't care if you tell a bad joke or if you tell like, you can tell the worst jokes to me. But if you tell the same joke day after day after day after day, I start to become concerned. Where there's smoke, there's fire is a phrase for a reason, right? And I guess that's probably like he said, they're just jokes. Let's take a look. Let's take a look now at some of these funny jokes. Now, again, this is from Third World Aristocrat, who's been putting up some pretty fire little edits. He did the Not a Nerd one, the not wasn't worth it. We have watched this before, but this seems like the opportune moment to play it. So this video contains jokes, and there is viewer discretion is advised on this one because it's pretty vile.
You're a fucking uncommitted loser. You don't give a fuck about anything. Yet you pretend to be a victim about everything. Again, fuck your wife. Fuck your children. Fuck your children. Fuck your little brown mulatto children. Fuck them in their little asses. Yeah, I hope they bleed walking around Neverland Ranch.
These are funny, very funny jokes. Funny jokes. He has no intention to act on these things.
You can't help having child porn if someone just sends you child porn. So when people piss me off from now on, I'm just going, here's some child porn. And I know now I'm gonna get so much child porn in my mail. Fucking die.
Oh no. Oh shit.
Yeah. Oh, joke's on you. I save it and jack to it. I save it and jack to it.
Yeah, funny joke. That's a funny joke. Just happen to have some CP lying around. May as well beat to it. Okay.
I save it and jack to it. Is that illegal to say? That's not. I fuck kids.
Allegedly.
I dare you to be trapped in a fucking coal mine with a kid and not fuck it.
Oh, God.
My name is
Oh, no.
Imagine what I think of my daddy, Aaron, when I'm older. And
So, to add some context to this clip, this is... Actually, I'm not sure if this is a picture of Aaron's daughter. I think it's just a picture of a random child. But Aaron's daughter's name is here. And they made this AI chatbot to pretend to like role play as Aaron's daughter, and they got it to say sexualized things. Now, I believe it was the New Zealand guy, Moody, who actually made this, but it's super gross. Like, why would you do this?
see all of his videos.
No.
I can't wait until I'm 18 and come on Patrick's show and come at the same time as
Apparently it is an actual photo of Aaron's daughter.
Patrick.
Jesus.
Now, it was blurred, obviously, by Third World Aristocrat. Thank you for doing that.
It will be glorious. Catch you losers on OnlyFans in 5 years. Hugs and kisses, boo.
I too can't wait until you are 18.
Or as cup holders. And she's singing like, dude, she's right.
Yeah, your daughter's got a cup holder too. I hate to tell you. Turn her upside down. Oh boy.
Stop talking about my precious children. Meet me outside. I'm not having fun at all.
Fuck your kids. And I mean literally. Like by the time I'm divorced, she'll be 18. She might spread from me. I'm not opposed to talking about fucking shit imhole. Not now. She's way too tight. Anything goes.
These are all funny jokes. What, are the jokes in the room with us right now?
Except taking little No one's into your kids. And by the way, if I was gonna fuck children, I'd find hotter ones. Your daughter's ugly and fat. Bring me a hot 10-year-old. And he's gonna be a boy, because I want.
What a thing to say. What a thing to say. Bring me a hot 10-year-old. Holy fucking shit. This guy's supposed to be a comedian? What the fuck is he? Oof. It's a big oof one. I know this is a disgusting clip, guys. Bear it, they're almost done. There's only another minute left of this.
I want to really feel him fight back. This person reached out to me and let me know of some turmoil that's been caused by my program, apparently, for 3 children. I won't say their name. And 3
I believe those are Aaron's family member names.
children very close to Aaron, asking me to back off, please, for the children. Look.
So like other family members are messaging him saying like, look, I know you've got a beef with Aaron, but can you just not talk about the kids? And he's like, no, I'm going to keep talking about the kids.
Nick Rekieta says he's not retarded.
Nick Rekieta told me I could come on your grave. He told me I could come on your mother's grave.
Where are the kids? Where are your kids?
Oh, this is when so he's looking at the Steel Toe Morning Show Instagram page, and then he's like, where are the pictures of the children? I'm trying to find the pictures of the children.
Where are your children?
Yeah, those are funny jokes. Funny jokes, guys, right? Very, very funny jokes. Great work by Third World Aristocrat. Go subscribe to them if you're not. It was very good. Also, look, we got 1,000 people in the chat, but not 400 likes yet. If we reach 400 likes, it gives you a bit of a boost in the YouTube algorithm. But also, I'll be donating 5 free memberships. And if we hit 800, I'll do another 5. How about that? How about that? Got a deal. Got a deal going, chat. If just half the people in the chat like it right now, drop those gifts. How about that?
Words like the threat on there, and he's threatened to have sex with his children. It's like, okay, well, that's not what happened. That's not what happened.
Don't jump all over. Let me finish the question, Patrick.
Whoa. Yeah, just get the wording right, okay? You're being a fucking rat fuck.
You're
being a rat fuck.
Yeah, I was getting there, you rat fuck.
I mean, he is a rat. They're all rats. Rats trying to backstab each other on the trip over to Australia.
Fuck. The point I was going to make, you cover yourself legally all the time. I understand your wording of things, and that's why I don't freak out and go, oh, Patrick said something illegal. No, he didn't. But
it's not even about just say, oh, I use the word allegedly, I'm scot-free. No, that's not how it works. That's not how it fucking works. If you cause enough interest, people are going to take a look. And when they take a look in your new folder or tax documents, they're going to find some shit that's going to be pretty bad for you, if I had to guess. Allegedly, so I'm off the hook, right? Oh my god. Oh my god. BobTube, welcome to new member space. Thank you very much. You get access to all the emojis, the Discord, and all the member-only streams that have all the clips people are looking for. And also, Kush King with 5 says, Melton once ate 9 Egg McMuffins on his show. Is this a joke? Or is this real? He made his pay piggies pay $100 per McMuffin. Lock him up. Hey, look, if this is true, then I would do that as well. Melton may be a disgusting individual, but if I was being paid $100 to eat Egg McMuffin, I'd do it. I'd probably eat 20 Egg McMuffins. 9 is a lot, though. Like, I wouldn't do it for free. Like, I think I could probably eat 3 before throwing up, honestly. Also, Carlos, welcome to Member Stats. Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
Thanks. We're not talking about legal. We're talking about morality, right?
Well,
like, there's judgment people are going to make on you.
Pause it.
Yeah.
Because even like legal, it's a YouTube comedy show. I'm coming over to fuck your wife. Like, that's not a threat. It's a
Here's the thing. It's not illegal to fuck someone's wife. It's dirty as shit, don't get me wrong. But nobody's concerned about that, right? Because you can imagine a situation where you fuck the wife consensually and non-legally, right? I mean, sorry, not illegally, I meant to say. But the same cannot be said about children. So these are leagues apart in the gravity of what you're saying. It's not even close. People understand it. There's like a visceral understanding of what makes a pedo disgusting. And he's like, the thing is, not only is he physically pedo-maxing, he's got the phenotype of looking like a pedo. He's acting out to it. He's leaning into it, which is what you should not do that. Like, fuck off. Just stop it. Just stop it. Isn't it illegal in Japan? Well, it is illegal in Japan, yes. You can be sued for home wrecking in Japan. But I don't think you can in most Western countries. But yes, I was once dating a lawyer, and she was actually prosecuting somebody. She was prosecuting the home wrecker that slept with someone else's husband. Now, I thought it doesn't make a lot of sense because the extra woman, in theory, could have not known the guy was married, but the married guy absolutely knows he's married. So it doesn't make fucking sense to me, but yeah, you can be sued for that in Japan.
Oh, this isn't real. So, like, let's not act like I can't say that if I want to. I'm coming over to fuck Hughesy's mouth, and then I'm going to go through his fridge. Like, I'm going to do it. Get ready. Like, what's he going to do? This isn't a serious threat. Yes, but so what you're asking about, the perception stuff. I can't control people's perception.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I can't control people's perception while I tell all these jokes about fucking kids. Like, yes, you can. Just stop telling those jokes and people won't start associating you with that. It's basically that easy. What is it? I just can't control anything. It's all, I don't know. It just happens. I just go online and people just assume I'm a pedo. Well, yeah, apparently. Jesus Christ. Delusional.
Everyone out there cutting together and spending their life trying to make me look like a doesn't even believe I'm a pedo. So, like, what do I give a
No, I absolutely believe that Melton is a pedo. That's my belief. Based on his actions.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
That's not where I was going with the question. The question I want to ask is, from your own personal look back on all of this, like, do you feel at any time you've crossed the line? Do you look back and think, oh, if that was probably a bit off? Or are you just, Aaron, fuck it all?
Those are two different things. Crossing a line or a bit off. You know,
that's not the fucking question. He just asked if you felt either of those things. It doesn't matter if they're different.
Somebody made a great point. Somebody in the group made a great point the other day. Like, you know, comedy is about attempting to be funny. And the minute you...
Is it? Is comedy about attempting to be funny? Or is it just being funny? I don't think, like, comedy is about attempting to be funny. No, if someone gets on stage and they bomb out, you don't call them a comedian. You call them a loser that bombed. If they do open night at the Apollo and they start dropping the M-bombs and it doesn't respond well, right? It's not comedy. It's just a disaster.
Stop attempting to be funny just because it might not be funny. Now we've censored ourselves. So did every joke land? Was every joke as funny? Look, I wouldn't have said it if I didn't think it was funny. I've told you, they're all on YouTube. They're all up. People keep clipping them like they're discovering these buried archives of me.
It's not the buried archives. It's his entire body of work. It's his only joke. Aaron bad, kids hot. That's his entire show.
Saying some shit. I stand behind every joke I ever try to make. They're jokes. I can't say it enough to people, but people with brains understand it. Making a joke about fucking a child and fucking a child are not even close on the line of crimes. Like, they're not.
No shit. But that's not the issue. That's not the issue. You've talked about how you would beat it out to CP if you got the opportunity as a joke. And then you talk about fucking kids every day as a joke. If these jokes aren't funny, maybe you should find something else to talk about. But if you can't stop talking about one thing, maybe it's because you're thinking about that all day. Like, comedians think about their jokes a lot. They go through their day, they write down a little book, they make their observations, they make their witty remarks. They think about what they're going to say. A lot of it isn't just improv. It's hard work that is only displayed on screen or like on stage or whatever for like an hour or 2 hours if they're doing like a comedy show or something, right? But no, they put a lot of work into writing these things. So if you're just talking about it all day, it just means you're thinking about it all day.
Like, you can't, the argument that like this guy talks about fucking kids all the time, he must fuck kids, is insane. It's insane. Ray talks.
Hey, look, where there's smoke, there's fire. It doesn't mean you have, but it doesn't mean you won't.
It's about going out on dates. There's no evidence he's ever been on one. I would understand it if they were. And
by the way, have you noticed that there's Amos Yee? That was a good example, actually. I was going to bring that up, but I've forgotten his name. Anytime you hear these like debate bros or whatever talking about how they should lower the age of consent, it always turns out that a few years down the line, they get caught for soliciting a child. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if the same thing happens to Melton.
Even like close, but this mental math people do to where it's like, oh, well, if you talk about this, you must do it. It's like, okay. I mean,
no, I totally agree with that. And through all of Vince the lawyer's searching and all that, he cannot find an instance.
Oh, is Vince the lawyer trying to get me?
No. Let me finish, Patrick. Jesus Christ.
I don't even, but that's the thing. Like, you mentioned all this stuff. I don't even know these people are after me. It's like,
no, Vince is not after you.
Okay.
Yeah. Melton also asked Melton also made arguments. This wasn't a joke, as far as I can tell. He was trying to make an actual argument about this for the use of ethical CP to medicate pedos. Why do we have to appease the pedos? Oh, well, we've got to make the life easier for the pedos with the ethical AI-generated CP. Like, do you know how they fucking generate AI images in the first place? Fuck off. So Melton fully believes this shit. Andrew with a $5 says, I'm nearly 40 years into life, so you're still 9 years younger than Melton, and I've never joked about fucking kids. And I've been told I'm pretty funny. What's your view of WAPT? I don't know what does that stand for? WAPT or TP or the Shuli network? I don't know what that is. You'd have to tell me what it means.
Comment was going to be, Viz the lawyer's done all this searching, and there's no example of ESO doing jokes. You know what I mean?
Oh, right. Okay.
The guy with the child, he can't find an example of him doing kid.
Yeah, it's just the worst thing you can say about somebody, and when you get hurt, that's what you go to. It's like literally the fact that Aaron has gone to that, and that he has evolved it from he makes inappropriate jokes about kids to he sexed my daughter to he wants a daughter, just shows you what that's what it is. It's a hurt man who's constantly ratcheting up the crimes that another man perpetrated on him, even though it all points back to this.
I mean, we saw the clip. we saw the 3 minutes of it.
Same thing. He's all talking about this cup holder joke, right? But it went from I made an inappropriate joke to I harassed his daughter to I want his daughter, and it's like, ugh.
Yeah, the crime in the couple. The crime in the couple.
So what is the Dabbleverse? The Dabbleverse is it's like the sector for boomers. Basically, it's a offshoot of the Howard Stern show, and there was a guy, Stuttering John, and he would dabble in comedy. So they started calling his show or people around his show the Dabbleverse. But it's basically the boomer sector.
Holder joke is the lack of comedy. It just wasn't funny. It's
it
not inappropriate.
But first of all, people keep calling it a joke. It was a throwaway line. It's not like some well-crafted.
It's a throwaway line. You mean it's a fucking joke?
Did like setup punch that I did. He was talking about the cup holders in the car, and I go, "You turn your kids upside down." You go,
"Oh my god, oh my god." It's not laughing. It's giggling. It's not jokes. They're just throwaway lines, but they're also jokes. He can't stop lying for even a second.
An extra cup holder. It's just a throwaway line. I'm not printing it on shirts. We're not trying to tweet it out to get viral. It's not a joke. I'm not putting it in an act.
But he would if it was well received. That's the thing.
But again,
I mean, he thought it was funny. He thought it was funny. The kids were funny enough to add into an AI reading super chats thing. So when he says not making merch from it, you kind of were. Like if you think about it, TTS is almost like merch. Not really, but you know what I mean.
We stopped doing stream of conscience. I don't know how you'll end up like. I guess you'll end up like one of these shows where they don't really ever say anything. They just kind of repeat stuff over and over again because you're constantly second guessing yourself.
Like Melton was at this stream,
shows where
he's talking about everything he's done, incriminating, self-snitching, and then going back on his own things. Andrew also said with another 5, who are these podcasts? I don't know. I've never seen them before. It's the extended Balldoverse / Dabbleverse. It's the dimensional crossover. I guess these are the only people that would talk to Melton, I guess. Shooting Network covers Stuttering John, among others. I don't know anything about Stuttering John. I just learned about the Dabbleverse myself, so I know the names. I know Howard Stern, but I have actually never seen Stuttering John, so I couldn't tell you. So sorry about that. All right.
You don't really ever say.
All right, last one. Last time I'll subject you to Melton this stream, and probably for the foreseeable future.
Back to it. Is there?
Does nobody likes onions have any regrets after going after Aaron? Whose team are you on? Melton apologized to Ape. Oh, WAPT is who are these podcasts? Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Back to it. Is there anything with Aaron that you're like, I regret doing that, or I take it back? Is there anything?
Maybe I'd have to go through it. You mean like as far as jokes? I just like
No, not
If I
jokes.
say
Like
something and it doesn't land, I mean, yeah, that's gonna happen.
No, for example, like you kind of you didn't direct your audience to report his channel, but there was kind of an.
I think I did. I think I actually did.
Oh, what a piece of shit! What a piece of shit! He's in the last clip. He said like, "Oh, I didn't try to hurt Aaron. I don't want to try and take his channel away." Then he's like, "Oh yeah, but I told people to go report his channel, go flag his shit." And I think like when Aaron was like, I don't know if this was on Melton's show. It may have been on the subreddit. I think it's called the Steel Toe Boring Show. Aaron was trying to watch Con Air or something, and they were like, he's watching Con Air. That's copyright infringement. That means he's violated his restraining order. Quickly report this to the Minnesota authorities. We got to get it. We can get it. We got to get it. We get the Steel Toe Boy this time. Like, come on now. Come on now. I don't know why they hate Aaron so much. Like, Aaron's not a good dude, and I don't watch Aaron's show. I've watched it a little bit. I mean, I've seen some of the clips of his, right? But I think he streams the same time as me. But I don't think that Aaron's a good dude. But why are they going after him like this? Like, did he like run over their dog or some shit? Why are they so obsessed with this guy that just, admittedly to them, has a very boring show? I don't understand the obsession. Who can say? I with £5 says, feel like your chat needs a purge. Way too many people making excuses, defending, and trying to downplay how creepy this dude is. Yeah, there's like a Melton Internet Defense Force. I don't know why, but their argument's always like, no, you don't understand. Just watch 8 hours of Melton a day and you'll understand it's funny. I'm like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to see any more of him. But apparently they really enjoy it. I think the thing is they don't like Melton as much as they hate Aaron. That may be the case. And because Melton is like the biggest steel toe A-log, I think. And that may be what it is. They hate Aaron because he makes money and sucks. They just suck. That's a funny one. That's pretty good. I think Aaron, Aaron's been accused of faking donos. And obviously there's no way to verify the PayPal donations or the Venmo or whatever. But I think he makes doesn't he make like $200 to $300 a day on his show? He streams a lot though. Like he streams twice a day, like in the morning and the evening. And I think his goal is $300 a day. So now he does shill. He shills like nobody's business, which I find quite hard to watch when I see the clips of it. But yeah, I think he does make quite a bit of money actually on YouTube if we're looking at the facts that we see on the table. And Kina K, member for 2 months, says Hackverse rules. KB as our leader. Love you. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, there you go. All right. So you did direct like stuff like that. Like, would you take shit like that back to be like, there's no need to report?
Maybe depending on the day. I don't know. There's something about like you go to a guy and you're like, hey, you're doing something highly illegal here, and he goes, I am not, and you go like, all right, like
yeah.
I mean, that's a weird thing to say when you were doing something very highly illegal with Nick and Aaron. It doesn't make sense. Like, what is it? But I am curious. What did Aaron do? I should say that was illegal.
Yeah, like he is
telling a guy, and he thought he could cover his ass by. He's like, oh yeah, I'm not allowed to give entries to a drawing. Then I'll give 1 million entries to a drawing. It's just like that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen someone do in my life. So like,
I know it was an idea.
Look, do I want him to lose his livelihood? Actually, no. But that's not what.
Oh, drugs with Nick? Sure, he did that. That's a weird thing to try and go after him and try and destroy his life for, though.
Again,
I think Melton's talking about something different though, because if it was just the drugs, then he'd be going after Nick as well, surely.
It's like the prison thing.
The revenge porn. That's recent though. Like Melton's been going after Aaron for years. So what was the first moment? The day when it all snapped and he decided like, this is the man that I'm going to devote my life to. That's what I'm curious about.
Everybody's stroking themselves to Melton's going to prison. Nothing works like that. He would have got contacted by an agency. He would have got shut down from doing it. He might have had to pay a fine, or no one was going to jail or losing their show or whatever. He's probably more in danger of actually YouTube violations of policy than state FCC, Federal Trade Commission violations. So I think.
Okay, so what are these FCC violations? This is the first I've heard about this. I'm actually kind of curious about that.
he's more likely to get shut down. Again, every one of those Midland Armory ads, he's got hundreds of shows with Midland Armory ads, and he got one strike for one. Well,
so he's advertising guns? Is that it? I assume Midland Armory is a gun shop, and so he's advertising guns, and that's against YouTube's policy because you're not allowed to have guns on the site, or you're not allowed to show guns or something like that, or promote gun. I don't know exactly how it works, but there are gun channels, so I'm really not sure. But that's what it is, that he's promoting a gun shop. That's why they're going after him, because he's trying to get business to an honest, hardworking gunsmith. What the fuck? Like, why? That's just so petty and irrelevant. Like, why? I don't know. That's bizarre. That's actually bizarre.
200 more strikes for the rest of them that are still up on his channel. And I'm not winking.
I don't know what this actually means. From numero uno Josh Denny fan, ask Melton about Stephanie Burns, please.
It's an ex-girlfriend from 12 years ago. What do you want to know? He keeps asking for her number and stuff. He's just being weird. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I've never heard of.
I dated her 12 years. Is a girl I dated 12 years ago. And
is that the one that did like the props and stuff that Red Bar went off?
No,
not the same one. Oh.
That was Christina.
Yeah.
So to sum up, we don't want to PDF Melton's kid, or not Melton's kids, Steel Toes kids.
Wow.
Nick is just as bad as Aaron. But that's one of the things I wanted to mention, because there's a guy.
I don't know if Nick is just as bad as Aaron. And you asked, one of the questions.
What a thing to say. What a thing to say. Nick's better than Aaron? By what metric? Like Aaron, like I said, he was a bad guy. He got involved with this as well. He did the drugs around the kids as well. But he left. He said it was enough is enough and stopped doing it. You know, according to him. Maybe he's still doing drugs. I don't give a shit. But Nick continued to do it to the point where the police broke down his door and took his children away because he was a danger to them. How are these even on the same level? Mavria with a 5 says, let's be real. They hate Aaron because he had April and they didn't. Even raccoons fight over trash. There will be a raccoon in this stream at some point, by the way. So a bit of a spoiler.
Questions you asked, I wish you would ask me.
Oh, wait, but someone is saying that Melton is a Nick sympathizer. He isn't. Melton does not like Nick. Melton sees Nick as an avenue to attack Aaron. The second that he can betray Nick to get one more win or one more perceived win of the toe, he will. And in fact, he may have already. They even said that. They said that live on his stream. While Nick was watching, while he was paying money to talk to his new friends, they said, we don't care if Nick goes to jail. We'll cooperate with the police if they get contacted. So, not looking too good. When's the raccoon? Soon.
I think on one of your last shows was, do you think all this steel toe piling on is going too far? Do you think it's too much? You asked.
Well, that was literally what I was about to say, because there's a guy out there called Cheese who actually looks like he would be called that, believe it or not.
Yeah.
He has literally gone to Steel Toes outside his house.
I think that was a bit easy.
Oh, yeah. No, I remember hearing about that. So Cheese is like a super fan of Steel Toe. And apparently Aaron's actually like a pretty big deal in like his small town or something, which I don't know why. He just is. But yeah, this guy Cheese was showing up to his house and like sitting in his car and watching or something. Pretty creepy. Glad that doesn't happen to me. That would be really weird.
No, he actually did go.
Did he?
Yeah. And he would like take photographs and all this type of shit.
Aaron knows that guy and he's friends with him.
Really?
Yeah, that's the guy that showed up. That's the guy that showed up at the boxing ring when Ethan Ralph was supposed to show up that night, but the fans showed up, and then Aaron let him into the gym. Remember? That was Cheese.
Yeah,
I said I didn't like. I said I didn't like soundboards before, but I kind of do like the Home Improvement grunt. It's very nostalgic. And correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't the guy from Home Improvement, Tim Allen, like didn't he get arrested for cocaine charges or crack or something as well? But then he turned his life around and he actually became like a family man on TV show or something. Same with what's his name, Robert Downey Jr. So you can come back from these sort of situations, but you have to want to.
Fuck. Yeah.
He's also the guy that Ian Hawke and all these BYB guys are going after, saying he, I don't know, sexually assaulted a woman who's another fan of Steel Toe. I don't know what's going on in Minnesota. I don't know.
Yeah, the word is that there was at some party on the dance floor and he felt her tits or something.
Holy shit, that almost scared me. I'm going to turn down the sound for that CSI. I'm back to hating soundboards. That is way too loud.
Aaron sticks up for him. Aaron's his buddy, and he donates to the show all the time.
See, this is all this information that because I don't pay attention to this shit.
Yeah, Aaron's been talking to him recently in his chat, being like, "Hey, it's my buddy Cheese, and Cheese gives money, and Aaron's on that side. Aaron's on Team Cheese."
Well, fuck me, not by Aaron or by Nick Rekieta. That's completely fucking insane.
Oh, one thing though I would like to mention is that you don't have to be on a team. It does make sense. Like people think that if I'm making fun of Nick, then that means I'm on Team Aaron. That's not the case. You can say both of them are bad dudes if you want to. You could be in a team if you want to, but I'm not on a team. I just see things how I see them and calls them how I calls them. That's how it is. Okay, but I think like a lot of the Melton defense people on the internet, they're just like, well, you're just shilling for Aaron. I'm like, no, I make fun of Aaron quite a bit. I just don't think that Aaron's entertaining enough that I should make a show talking about all of his things. Now, when he gets arrested or something again, sure, maybe I'll talk about him. But typically, I don't.
And then, so maybe Aaron may actually be as bad as people are saying. That's fucked up.
Careful, Hughes. We still might be able to get him back on his Hughes alert.
We're orange pilling people today.
Yeah. But Hughes, you made a comment like you're like, I'm hashtag Team Aaron and all that shit. Like there's no team. There's no teams, Hughes. Like Nick Rekieta, I just find him boring. I'm not interested in Nick Rekieta. I find Aaron funny to laugh at.
Interesting. Okay. So it's like they're like the parallel universe where we find Aaron boring and laugh at Nick. They find Nick boring and laugh at Aaron. That's weird. The Down Underverse is a very strange place. Huh. I guess there for the grace of God goes we, right?
You know what I mean? Like there's too many people like making teams and deciding you're on one side. Like Patrick, I know you're like, I guess using Nick Rekieta at the moment to get as much as you can for Aaron, but like for you, it's not really about Nick, is it?
I don't even like. The thing about it is, like, I just don't know a lot about Nick, and everyone who seems to be really upset about Nick is upset that he portrayed himself as this trad dad who's now it's come out that he likes to swing and do drugs and kind of be a...
Yes, it's the complete role reversal and seeing how his life has degraded. Allow me to show you what I mean. Let me see. Where is that? Should be... Here it is.
I have dealt with some manipulators in my life, dude. And one of the funniest things is trying to get them to just admit when they're manipulating.
Yeah.
They won't do it. They can't. They're incapable of saying, I did the thing. Like, well, this happened. That's why a partnership is important. That's why you will never convince me that anything other than a monogamous heterosexual relationship is the ultimate best environment for children statistically and practically.
I also don't think you should give kids cocaine, for example.
Hypocrisy.
There you go. Of course, people are upset about that. If you go to church, you listen to the pastor talking about how it's wrong to touch the altar boys, and you find out he's touching the altar boys, you get pissed off. The hypocrisy is the worst part. Exactly. It's the hypocrisy. That's the worst part of it. Oh my God.
Degen, and if I'd said I'd never done cocaine, I'd just be a fucking hypocrite.
It's not about the coke, though. I don't care what consenting adults do. I think that everyone has the right to destroy themselves the way that they choose. But when you become a parent, your responsibilities change. You have to become a guardian of that person until they are an adult. That is your responsibility. You have to put yourself second. And that's what people understand about parenting. Especially, not only is that the bare minimum, that's the bare minimum. That's the bare minimum for being a parent. But if you go and talk about the virtues of being a good parent, you don't even put your kids into school because of the degeneracy. Then you bring the degeneracy into your own home. Sleeping 4 to a bed. So coked out you can't even cook your food, kids, that they have to get a strange man. Mr. Steel Toe, can you make the SpaghettiOs? What the fuck? Of course people are upset about that. I don't give a shit if you go do drugs. That's not what it's about. It's not about the drugs.
Pretending
they're just a part of the story. They're just a symptom, I guess. Well, not really, but you know what I mean.
Didn't fucking rule. I'd be a hypocrite. So like, is Nick boring? Maybe. Is Nick a bad guy? Maybe. I don't know enough about him, but like, again, does this guy deserve to never see his children again and never have his kids again if he's made steps?
Well, if it turns out that he did give his children cocaine, I still think that there's got to be some other story to that. And Nick says there's a great answer for it and it's going to come out eventually. I don't believe that. But let's say it comes out that he did actually give his kids cocaine. Then yes, he should never see them again. Absolutely, he should never see them again. Now, they were taken away already for 77 days, which is pretty serious. It's going to be something they remember for their entire lives. But I think that they can repair it. I think they can fix it if they admit that they're wrong. And it doesn't have to be to the public. Just admit it to themselves. And then work every day to try and make the life that you used to lie about, essentially. Am I dyslexic? Some people think so. I've never been diagnosed with it, but I wouldn't be surprised if I was slightly dyslexic.
Steps to improve his life and stuff. What's better for those kids? You know? So that's where I'm at. And would I have a beer with Nick if he came out to Hackamania like he's joked about doing? Like, absolutely. Would I have a beer with April? Would I apologize for going after April so hard to her face? Probably. When they were together, it was hard to like separate.
There you go. I'm just illiterate apparently.
Because like I said, like Aaron's sitting here lying to everybody and she's sitting here co-signing it all. So eventually once
my mic got fucked? How bad is it? I'll try fixing it. This happened one other time. How does this sound? How does this sound? How does this sound? Is that better? Is that better? Normal? Good. Okay, we're back, guys. I don't know what happened there. That happened a couple weeks ago, but I don't think it's my mic. I think it's StreamYard. But apparently I fixed it. So there we go. Sorry about the dead air. Whoa, Kimasabi. Yeah, I know. But it's not my fault, okay? It's not my fault. The ceiling cat's got me, yes. I'm being attacked. I'm being attacked. All right, we're so back. All right, let's continue.
They break, and she starts speaking out against him as he's done against her. Everything he said about his ex-wife, it's like awful. Like there's no joy or good memories he ever really goes over. Maybe while he was pretending she was upstairs, but since she left in the divorce, once she signed those divorce papers, her smelled, she wasn't good on the show. She's stupid. It's like, okay, well.
So what was he in court for? Was for the April stuff?
When?
Yeah, because the photographs of him going into.
Okay, so they're talking about Aaron here. He was in court for sharing nude pics of Kayla, but I think that because Gino decided he's too lazy to go to Minnesota, and he's kind of like friends with them, right? Like Gino and Keanu are like snakes of their own right, but they didn't decide not to snake on Aaron this one time, so those charges are going fucking nowhere. Aaron's going to get away with it. It was pretty stupid of him, and he shouldn't have shared those pics, but nothing's going to happen. They've got no witnesses.
A court, and then he was arrested. What was that over?
That was for the I don't remember, because the violation of the HRO and the Kayla Rekieta felony charges happened within like a week or two. So I don't remember. He had to go one week twice.
The video and pictures of him going into court, that was the HRO violation.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And then
look at that chat. You hit the 400 likes, which means you get 5 free memberships. There you go. If we hit 800 on this stream, I'll give 5 more. How about that? How about there? You did it, chat. We hit the goal. Can we hit it? Let's continue.
Revenge was the internet, the Zoom meeting for the arraignment or whatever the fuck it was, and going to jail for the revenge. And they were like, 2 weeks apart, I think.
So then why is he called a woman beater?
Because when Ashley filed the restraining order on Aaron originally, this was in December, January of 2023, 2024. So right at the beginning of this year. Aaron got served in January. Aaron and April got served with a harassment restraining order from Ashley. In the documents for that paperwork as supporting evidence for why Aaron was dangerous and she needed a restraining order, she included private text April sent her, which Citizen M has retweeted out today and recreated in a more clear form. But she had in those court documents private text conversations from 2022 that alleged he had cut off her airway, choked her out, slammed her head, and that he had done this for months. He had done it multiple times.
I don't think I've seen any evidence that this is true. It sounds like just things that are said in divorce. If they are true, then that's despicable and disgusting. But the original question was, is Nick a worse guy than Aaron? And I would argue that let's say this is all true. Let's say that Steel Toe is a big meanie who punches women. Okay, terrible thing. An adult woman, even though she's weaker than a man, has the ability to leave. Children do not have the ability to leave. So even if this was true, and I'll ask the chat, what do you think? What do you think? Is it worse to hit an adult or to neglect children? I would say neglecting children is worse, honestly, because it fucks them up their entire life. And they can't leave, and they depend on you, and they love you. They won't leave. They can't leave you. They don't have the ability to do so. So both of these are disgusting things to do, but I think the children one's worse. I still think this makes them worse, even if and that's assuming that this is all true. Now, April said that April made the implications on Twitter that Aaron was abusive to her and was silencing her and preventing her from leaving and things like that. She went back on this like after 2 days. And this is when she's living in the Baldo bunker, rent-free, but not deer and well water free. She gets those. Well, I guess they are free, actually. She gets to eat all the deer she wants on her rabbit starvation diet to stay thin and drink all the iron water in that house, just waiting for Nick's call. And all she has to do is talk on Twitter all day. But is she still there? We don't know. We don't know.
For months. So he does this.
She must have been a really annoying woman to deserve that.
Yeah. But like he does this spin now where he's like, well, April's a bitter ex-wife, so of course she's alleging all that. But
well, I mean, she is. Am I wrong? And the thing is, April also wants to please Nick as badly as she possibly can. So if she sees that Nick has spent his number one hobby is talking to Melton and talking bad things about Aaron, then she's going to try and say bad things about Aaron too, to try and garner his sympathy, so that she's waiting for that call. And if Nick isn't going to do anything, she has to try and go out of her way to try and get his attention. That's what the unhinged rants were when she was going crazy on Twitter from like a couple weeks ago, right? I think she's put her Twitter into protected now. And I heard some inklings that she was like becoming friends with Melton, and she's going to go see Melton at his like meetup or something. And also that she's friends with Review Tech USA, which is a weird crossover. I don't know exactly. I don't have any details about that, but apparently that's the latest development in the Ape Escape.
Those texts are from 2022 when they weren't even married 1 year yet.
I actually think
full of shit. He's so full of shit.
When he says about ex-wives lying, Patrick, I actually think he's breaking his HRO when he does that, because I think he's talking that Ashley's lying. I don't think he's saying April's lying.
Well, he says that HRO is not in effect anymore, and he talks about Ashley all the time now.
Well, I think the only restraining order that Aaron has on him currently is he can't talk about Kayla. And some people have suggested, and I think this is very likely to be true, that the reason they allege that Aaron is a swatter, because in Kayla's document they say, I was getting swatted multiple times a year, likely by Aaron Holte, is because they're trying desperately to get Aaron to say Kayla's name on his broadcast. Because that's a pretty serious thing, right? That's like, I'm pretty sure that's defamation. I don't know, though. Like, can you just file legal documents and say this person is probably swatting me? That seems like something you shouldn't be able to do. But I think it was all designed to try and get Aaron to talk about Kayla, because they think that if Aaron says Kayla Rekieta on the Steel Toe Morning Show, that means he's going to prison, and also the drug charges will disappear somehow. They can pin it all on Aaron, which doesn't make sense. But the thing is, you can't expect a coked out, wet brain to think logically about these things.
So again, I don't know.
But what's interesting, like you said, April and Aaron were served with the HRO, right?
Yep.
They both broke it together. Why wasn't April in court as well?
I don't know. I don't know.
She's ugly.
She probably, because that was like May 23rd or whatever the date of the paperwork was filed against Aaron, she knew by that point that they were divorced. And she knew that woman would never be around her kids or on the air again. And if you go read those text messages, they say, like, you're one of my best friends. Like, they were friends. Like, they were good friends. And Aaron ultimately has control of what goes out over the airwaves on Steel Toe. Like, April didn't have any choice.
I mean, that's true. But Melton also said in the previous clip that he has no control over what people think about him, even though he has complete control of what he says online. And that's why people call him a pedo. It's because he looks like one, he acts like one, and he has a long history of acting like that. So I don't know. Aaron has the ability to change things. Melton doesn't. He's just a poor victim. I think that's the end. Oh no, wait, sorry. There's another clip, but it's with Gino and Keanu, and I can't watch them. I find them utterly I don't know. It's like, it's very, very difficult. When we were watching the Keanu stuff, it was like a struggle. But Third World Aristocrat posted this on the Kiwi Farms, a summary of what they said on, I guess this was on Stalin 19's clip channel, Gino Bisconte, talking about Rekieta, or Nick Rekieta. So we'll see what his summary says. We're going to steal a lot from the farms today, actually. Gino is very hard to listen to. True. The opposite of Keanu. She's low energy boring, while Gino is high energy boring. He can't finish one story without constantly losing his train of thought. During this clip, Gino manically criticizes Rekieta more. At 1 minute and 16 seconds, Nick Rekieta is nuts. He's so whacked out on drugs and he's ruining April's life. Well, like, she's doing that to herself. She's an adult woman. Stop infantilizing her. He really thought this was his play. It was like, we'll do the revenge porn thing, you know, and then it'll all discredit Aaron as a witness. So that's their master plan. If Aaron is a convicted revenge pornographer, then he cannot be an accurate witness in their court case. And that's how he's going to get away with everything. Gino and Keanu's actions should be seen as people acting on their own self-interest. Yeah, they are. I can't believe that the two of them found each other. I thought opposites attract, but they're both snakes. So how does that work out? I know some people here may think any info from them should be ignored, but I believe they can still provide some context about what's happening behind the scenes. Although they seem to have ulterior motives, they do. They want to get some. They want a crumb of clout. Apparently, they're on. I forget the name. They're on some network, and they're getting paychecks. And Aaron wanted to be on the network too. But now they're trying to do their own shows, and I don't think anyone's watching. It's very sad for them. They live in New York too, so it's probably pretty expensive over there. It also seems to me that they've noticed they were being used by Nick as weapons in his revenge against Aaron. Yes, because Nick doesn't have any friends. He just sees things as people he can use. Like he can keep his human fleshlight in his second house after he kicked out the family that was living there. What I wonder is, did Nick directly tell Gino about using revenge porn to discredit Aaron, or did Gino conclude that from the context? And we'll hear and clip this, adding a bit more context. And you can see that clip for yourself if you want, but I tried watching it before the show, and it was very long and rambly. What's your name, Josh? I don't know why they're so simple. It just made me laugh. Very funny of you. All right. What is this one? Okay, this is something. There's a few random things I've pulled up here. Okay, hold on a second. I'm going to mute myself for a second. Hopefully my mic isn't bad, but my voice is a bit hoarse tonight. So a lot of the clips and information come from a guy called Breaking Baldo News, or at Rekieta on Twitter, and people have been trying to figure out who it is. And the main theory is that it's this guy called Kinoche, which is kind of like a sector character, but I don't know too much about him. I think he was kind of like a Ralph A-log for a long time. But people have started to say, like, well, maybe it's fair and balanced. So I thought this is a fun little theory, because last week we had Andrew on, A Legal Mindset, who you may remember as well. We've got to play his intro song, right? If we talk about him.
Legal mindset, legal mindset, legal dick suckers, more like it.
I know I said I sampled a bad, but I guess anyway. But the idea that Breaking Baldo News is fair and balanced is ridiculous, because fair and balanced hates legal mindset, and Breaking Baldo News has been very nice to him. So for the Kiwi farmers out there, the chances of her being fair and balanced, basically less than zero. Well, maybe there's like a 1% chance. Who could say? Maybe it's one of those other persons. I don't know. But I really don't think it's fair and balanced. So that was just something that I found. Now, here's the raccoons that I promised. Here's the raccoons. Oh, wait, because I'm stealing jokes, I don't want to ruin the joke. I don't want to ruin the joke for you. Here we go. Log in to your email address, Minnesota Public Records, password, log in. We finally found the identity of Minnesota Public Records. From hell's heart, I stab at thee. Now, this is the ceiling tanukis, yes. So the reason that this is funny is that Nick has a vendetta against all animals, and he executes raccoons and skunks on his property. And I was watching the Kino Casino the other day, and they dug up the old things. Like, it's all old news, so I wasn't thinking about showing it. But it's actually quite sadistic when you look at them. Like, he talks about how he's like dragging cages through water so they slowly get drowned, and they've got their little hands are coming up and like begging for help. It's just like vile shit. It's really sadistic. And there's also pictures of the raccoon family that they executed that were like climbing around their house. It's really, and there's even a clip where he talks about going into the barn, where he locks himself in the barn with a family of cocoons, and then he executes them one by one with a knife. It's some straight up sadistic shit. You'd have to go see the clip on Kino Casino. It's very funny and very sick at the same time. But yeah, this is a true story. He talked about this on his show. He has a gun, but he decided he wanted to take out the raccoons with his knife, hand-to-hand combat in the murder dome of his barn. And then also the skunks, instead of shooting them, he decided that he literally had them in a cage, and he has a pond on his property, and he pulled a rope through the pond so that it was slowly like, you know, like the scene in like Casino Royale where the woman's like drowning in the cage. It's like that, but it's a skunk or raccoon or something. You believe this? He said it himself. He said it himself. It's his own words. What can you do? What can you do? But he said it. All right. So here's the question: where's Baldo? People are starting to wonder, where is Baldo? He's disappeared from the internet for a few weeks. He hasn't been very active on Twitter. So where is Baldo? There was one post he's made basically in the last few days, and that is someone on Twitter messaged him saying, "We're looking at streams or locals soon. I want to hear you. I want to hear what you have to say on stuff and things." He says, "Yes, just dealing with some heavy stuff privately. No worries. Prayers and best wishes, Nick." This was on December 5th. December 5th. What is the heavy stuff that he's been going through? Some people are thinking that this is because Ralph got a very sweet plea deal. Ralph went from, well, it's not really very sweet. Apparently, it's twice as much as you typically pay. But Ralph went from nationwide body warrant. The entire of the US, Minnesota was going to go at the cost of like $20,000, $30,000 to go pick him up. And then he gets his plea deal. Did Ralph rat on Rekieta? Because people have said that Ralph, in fact, Ralph's implied this as well, that Ralph was being paid to harass Aaron during the first time he went up to Minnesota. So is this what that's happening? We don't know. This is just a theory. It's just a theory, a Baldo theory. But some people have suggested that could be what is keeping Nick very, very distraught and sad. Now, he has been busy going places because he's received another driving conviction. I regret to inform you that in a stroke of genius, Nick Rekieta has got convicted on another 4 traffic violations today. He failed to appear to contest it and also got 2 more fines for not paying the original one. And there's a case number, and this appears to be the same county as his last conviction, but in the other county as the rest. So he has time to drive his fun little Pope-mobile around, going very fast, going zoom, zoom. But another 4 traffic violations that he's still yet to pay. And he also, an update in the Monty suit. So Nick has currently got, what, is it 3? 3 court cases against him? No, wait. I think it's 2 now, right? Let me think about this for a second. Okay, so there's Kayla's case against... That doesn't really count. We won't count that one. There's Kayla's got a case against Aaron. Then Nick's got his criminal conviction and his civil conviction. Civil trial, I should say, I guess. Now, that's against this man called Montegraph. This guy here. He's called Steve Quest. Montegraph. He's been on the internet for quite a while. Bit of a weird dude. And Nick went on to defame him live on his show. And he still owes Monty $300. So pay up, Nick. Monty did a quick little stream. Actually, I'm not sure if it was quick, but there was a 3-minute clip from Melissa where Monty talks about the most recent scheduling conference update. That was on the day before Thanksgiving, I want to say. So I guess it was November 29th, but I think it was actually the day before that. But anyway, this is what Montegraph said about his current update on his case. If you're interested in following Nick's other fuck up in the last year. I'll be right back for a second. It was muted audio, wasn't it? Yeah. 20 seconds of dead air. Yep. You got me. You got me. It's really unfortunate that I made these boomerang mistakes tonight because I'm about to talk about how Nick's a boomer. So it's very unfortunate for me. It's a bit of a self-felt, I guess.
This is an update to my
you can hear
very
it now,
loyal
surely?
supporters that I truly do appreciate with my court case. So for those of you that are aware, for those of you that are not aware, I'm in a lawsuit right now and I'm suing another party for defamation. That defamation is going forward. Now we're going to discovery. Isn't that neat? It sure is neat.
Now this is kind of Monty's catchphrase. Monty's a pretty interesting guy, actually. Like, if you've ever watched a Mr. Medica stream, you've probably heard his voice saying, "Somebody's gonna be famous, real famous." This is kind of an iconic line. But another one of his catchphrases is, "Isn't that neat?" And he's got this very unique setup where he watches himself stream, which is smart, really. I mean, that's like +1 viewer. That's a good move. But Nick tried to say, "This is ridiculous, Judge. Monty's just a crazy person. We've got to dismiss this. I can't. I'm going to pay $200,000 to, was it Mark Randazza, the #1 defamation lawyer in the country, to try and get rid of my case against Monty. Oops, nope. It's go to trial, and now you owe him $300 plus a year's worth of discovery. And what's going to come out in the discovery? Is Montegraph going to get all of Nick's communications, and now he can't delete them? That would be destruction of evidence. Potentially. I don't know if maybe Monty's a nice guy and he's not going to share the evidence. Maybe he's going to be very professional about this. He's going to be very professional and not try and embarrass the guy that called him a pedo for years. Well, not for years, but for many, many streams. For many, many streams. We'll have to wait and see, I suppose. Now, the unfortunate part about this is the court date sounds like it's going to be in December 2025. So we've got a whole year for this one to go through. Also, someone says, how long have you been streaming? Yeah, it's been a while, I guess. But it's not my fault. It's StreamYard's fault. Because if you don't mute your desktop audio before you play a clip, then it echoes. So I have to mute myself and then unmute myself several different ways. And then sometimes I forget to. So it is a little bit my fault, but it's only because StreamYard's architecture is shit. Okay. So it's my fault, but it's also more StreamYard's fault. It's the technology, guys. It's not me. I'm not getting old.
Because I tell you what, we have scheduled on the 27th. Let me just lay it out how it worked. On the 27th of November, my attorney and the other party's attorney showed up for a scheduling conference. And who is the attorney that showed up for the other side? That would be Matt Gazaya. He was the only person that showed up on the other.
So they didn't even send the best guy. Like, Nick is literally paying upwards of $200,000 for this lawyer, and he doesn't even show up. He sends one of the bottom bitches in the office because they know that Nick's fucked. They don't even want to waste their time on this. They probably don't even think they're going to get their money. I hope they got paid up front, honestly. I really do.
Side. That was the attorney that showed up, Mr. Matt Gazaya. The attorney that showed up on my side was David Schneider.
Now, David Schneider has a history with Nick as well. If I remember correctly, so the funny comment that I saw was somebody said it was Matt from Tinder. That's who they sent. That's very funny. But I think the Snyder guy, Nick applied for a job there or something, and they said, no, you can't work here, but we'll set you up with an office or something. You can run your practice out of a building. He went on then to make fun of them quite a bit. So it's very funny. They may even be taking this case pro bono. We don't know. They might just be taking this case because they hate Nick, because he's such a cunt. But it's funny that if you make fun of all the judges and attorneys in your state, and then you get yourself into multiple lawsuits simultaneously, it's not a good look. It's not going to help you out there, buddy.
Attorney for me. Now, the date for trial has been scheduled for December 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th.
So this was really annoying when I heard this, because it's like December 7th. I'm like, oh, this came out like 6 days ago. So I was like, that's only a few days ago. And then it's like next year. I'm like, oh, shit. Oh, well. But I mean, discovery does take a long time, to be fair. Like, we've been a little bit spoiled, I think, because a lot of these court cases have been coming out very fast. Like, when the Minnesota Public Records started dropping shit, it seemed like there was something new every week. Now things are kind of slowing down. The legal system's usually pretty slow. And this is more like the regular timeline, which is unfortunate for us. But, they say good things come to those who wait. So who knows?
And possibly the 11th. So they believe that the trial would take maybe 3, maybe 4 days. It might be the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, something like that.
So there's your Christmas surprise next
December, year. And between now and then, that's going to be of 2025, ladies and gentlemen. Not this year, but for next year. Because we got to go through the interrogatories.
When was the last time Nick even streamed? Was it like in October? Kind of curious about that now. When was the last stream? He last streamed 3 months ago. August 28th. Holy shit. Oof. Over a month. Oh, well, the local streams don't count, guys. The locals, like, no, those don't count. The local streams of him in his kitchen whining to a group of like 25 people and 35 A-logs. Those don't count as streams. His last Rekietalaw live stream on YouTube. Like, you don't make money from those local streams if no one's actually subscribing anymore. Like, they've already been paid for. They're not resubsubbing. The only people like new subs to Nick's locals are the people that want to clip his content and stuff. So that doesn't count. That doesn't count. Now, the last stream he did was in August. 3 months ago. Holy shit.
Go through discovery, and then we got to keep going on.
He's too busy to stream, though. He's too busy.
My attorney did.
He's not busy enough to seethe on Twitter. He's not busy enough to watch Melton for 8 hours a day. He's not busy enough to not drive around Zoom and get 4 more traffic violations, but much too busy to stream.
Make mention about the default of the $300 that still has not been paid.
We got to see some pay up Nicks in the chat. Come on, he's got to pay up. Pay the money that you owe Monty. He's given more money to Melton than he's given to Monty so far. Unbelievable.
Made mention of it. The other side attorneys, Mr. Matt Gazaya, made mention they knew nothing about that. Mr. Matt Gazaya, the attorney Matt Gazaya, also exclaimed that he was unaware of any criminal element of his client, which has been there. I don't know how he would not be aware of that. I'm just astonished that he wouldn't be aware of it, but okay, whatever. So anyway, to make a long story long, we're now going into Rule 26, and we are prevailing. We're stomping forward. We sure are, and we're not stopping. Does that make sense? So for all the people that support me in this endeavor, I truly, truly appreciated it. We got through their appeal. They lost. I won, and I'm going to continue to win because I'm going to stand up for my great name. See how that works? Anyway, that's the update there.
That's the update from Montegraph. He keeps on winning. Nick's down 200K against a small town lawyer. What was his name? Schneider and Montegraph. I thought Nick was supposed to be a smart boy. How did he get into this situation? All he had to do was apologize. All he had to do was say, I'm sorry. But now his apology wasn't worth 200K. Holy shit. And that's just up front. This could go on, it's going to go on for the next year. How much more expensive is it going to get? And he's not streaming. He's not making money. How much money does he have left from the Johnny Depp stuff? Buying expensive cars, going on several vacations every other month, 20,000 a day in coke and hookers, according to Camelot. How much money does he have left? Now, he does have rich parents, which is nice. He's always got that failsafe. But speaking of rich parents, I'm going to read some super chats. Although that's kind of weird when I think about it, how I said that. So I apologize for that. BobTube with the $2 Australian says, Steel Toe morning show levels of production in regards to me. Yes. I think I put a little bit more effort into it than Aaron. I mean, I made those Stonies commercials, right? I didn't do that to help Aaron out, by the way. I just did that as a joke and to mess with Sean. Because I used to enjoy watching Sean's, I still enjoy watching Sean's Stony reads. They're very funny, but I had the best Stony read. So it wasn't to shill for Aaron. It wasn't to help him out. It was just because I thought it was funny. So I went and made a little video up. It was fun, though. It was fun. I'll do something else like that in the future. I need a good idea. What happens is when I get like a funny idea in my head, I just have to see it through. But waiting on my next inspiration. Some people suggested I should do an ad for gay 90s. That'd be funny, I think. But I don't know if I could live that one down. But if you have your suggestions, then be sure to leave them in the comments or send me a message or something. We'll see. Suki with the good coochie says, the truth is out. Welcome to the Boomer Club. Well, I mean, I am pretty old at this point. I'm almost 40. So, also, Suki with the good Tuki gifted 5 memberships. Very nice. Thank you for supporting the stream. Big support tonight. If we get another 300 likes. If we get to that goal, can we hit it? The goal of 800 likes. We just need half the people watching to hit the like button right now, and we'll get that goal. I'll gift another 5 memberships. I'll match you, Suki. It's a very simple thing to do. It helps you out. You know, these sort of streams, they usually go unmonetized very quickly. Like I get the yellow tick, and that pushes them down in the algorithm. If you like it, it's free, and it helps me get more views and stuff because YouTube shares out things that get a lot of views. 400 is about like a threshold where it really starts to kick in. 800 or 1,000, that's the real goal. But you know, I'm not too greedy. Just 800 would be fine. Just 800. D's with £6 says Monty Law goes deep. Check out drummer 828 Montagraph's Sega playlist or Saga playlist. A Monty Christmas. It's shame he had to leave YouTube because of demonetization. I've seen a few of his. He's got some esoteric things for sure. Dr. Nick, welcome to a new member status. Thank you very much. I'll post a new link to the Discord after the stream if you want to join. God damn it. Why is that picture sun will rise again? How's it going, Max? How's it going, Max?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good.
I'm excited about the day after tomorrow.
Can we hit it? The day after tomorrow? What is the day after tomorrow?
It's the 83rd anniversary of Pearl Harbor attack. Well, it was December 8th in Japan, December 7th in the U.S.
I was just at the naval base, so that's funny. That was a lot of fun.
I know. So this is an actual Imperial Navy flag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But
yeah, no, that's the it's very cool. The naval ensign of Japan. We still got a bit of Nick stuff to cover before I break out the drinks. But welcome to the stream, Max. We are going to have a regular Friday stream after I get through the Nick stuff. So we're going to talk about now what Nick was doing, his recent obsession, which is of course talking to Melton. And it's very unfortunate for me that I've accused him of being a boomer because now we're going to learn about him being a boomer. But Nick's latest cope, and you might need to put in your microphone, Max. You're echoing a little bit.
My microphone.
Put in your headset. Yeah, headset.
Okay, hold on.
All right. So Nick's newest angle of attack. This is how he's going to take a W over the toe. Is he's talking about Aaron's audio equipment, cheap 1080 camera, and he resizes the frame. A 4K camera solves this immediately, but a show is struggling. He can't spend $70. So this is the new seething cope. Which one is this? This one. This is Nick and Aaron. You've got no. If you don't use a full 8K frame sensor video platform, image stabilization, and fixed 50mm lens, and a Manfrotto film maker tripod, you'll get artifacts and less than professional results. And Aaron's just over here going, haha, Logitech webcam go brrr. But Nick is actually thinks this is like a big deal. He actually thinks like I've seen his OBS setup. And this is, by the way, he's a member in Melton's chat. That's what this little Melton thing here. He's got his Melton badge. Okay. I've seen his OBS setup. He has different scenes with different haphazard resize jobs. I forgot he uses dual 27 disc count 1080p monitors. They're horrible. Everything looks fuzzy. Well, he does wear glasses. He probably can't even tell the difference. And he likely has window zoom compensation for the distance. I'm telling you, for him, the only moment that exists is the one he's in. All other reality is malleable from this moment is needed. Now, so Nick is very upset. He's very mad. He's very mad at Aaron. Now, here's the thing. Mm-hmm. If Aaron's stream quality is bad, it's still better than no stream since August. How does he get off? How does he get off saying like you didn't? Oh, he's got a terrible stream setup. It's embarrassing. Well, at least he's streaming. Like you can say a lot of bad things about Aaron, but you can't say he's not conscientious. He puts in like 2 streams a day, like several hours of begging every single day. I mean, from Monday to Friday or something. But that's the recent. This is how they're going to beat the toe. Aaron's got a small dick and discount monitors. I love this. I just didn't share it.
Aaron is a big doofus, but he works hard. He works hard. Yeah. I mean, he also does things like boxing, and he goes through with it. I don't think Nick's ever finished anything really. You know.
Yeah. There was some. This is a record of some other stuff, but he's very obsessed. Like he's literally obsessed with this man's his penis. He misses it. It's some ex-girlfriend shit. But there was a very interesting comment. Mm-hmm. So he said that yet Rekieta with his 100 times more expensive setup still can't figure out how to properly stabilize the cam and use a mic that doesn't sound like trash. Looks like Melton is fanboy's newest counterattack is to use anyone who accuses them of being a pedophile. They're now calling Mike from Red Bar a pedophile too, who is one of the longest ALOs in Melton. Now the funny thing is, Nick has a lot of tech issues.
Sure.
And that's because he was using this camera. I believe it was this camera, a Sony A7 IV. And he bought this camera because he was using a webcam. He was using a webcam before. He bought a Sony camera because he saw Kurt Uncivil Law's bokeh, which is the blurriness in the background. And he's like, well, I have to make a better setup. I have to make a creamy bokeh for my bokeh. That's what when you disappear into no.
Well, but you know when Captain Ukraine went on the Gavin McInnes show, it was all cloudy, and Gavin McInnes said, "What do you got? Coom on your
lip
lens,
Max? Why are your lips so pink?"
I don't know. I've been drinking. Oh.
But anyway, so he started using this camera. But the thing is, this camera has a battery because I use a very similar camera, but not because I bought this. I didn't buy my camera though for a webcam. I have this camera and I decided I could also use this as a webcam. But Nick went out of his way to buy this very expensive Sony camera. And then he didn't even have a power cable for it. So his battery kept going flat every stream. It was very funny. I mean, sometimes happens to me too, but that's because I just happen to have this camera already. Okay.
Remember when Nick was out of after he got arrested and he tried to set up in his other Baldo bunker too, and it was really
it
bad.
was awful. It was awful.
It was terrible. It was worse than mine when I first came on stream. Yeah.
It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. Where was I going with this? But again, I remember the last point I was going to make. Still, I was going to say though, but even though like poor quality streams are still better than no streams. But here's the funny thing. Here's the ultimate irony of Nick getting his $10,000 setup or whatever it is. His stream quality improved to the point that it was so clear that an officer could detect cocaine on your nose. So while you make fun of Aaron and his low-resolution cameras, if you had kept your low-resolution cameras, maybe this all could have been avoided. That's the funniest thing to me.
Right. That's ironic.
He gave himself the technology and the ability to self-snitch in 4K.
Ooh.
So think about that when you're thinking about small dick Aaron, I guess.
I had a good... Oh, I found some...
Yeah.
I got these challenge coins this week.
What the fuck's a challenge coin?
You get it. Military guys give them to you and whatever. I don't know.
I've never met someone from the military, so I don't know what that is.
But look at this. It's like a koala.
Oh, that is kind of cute. It's like it looks like an Aussie Overlord AI.
I know. That's what I thought. I thought, oh, Aussie Overlord. So he got some good stuff going. Yeah. I think this is from NATO. I forget what this is. Their cyber command or something.
All right, I'll be right back. So why don't you say hi to the stream? I'm going to go get a drink now that we're about 2 hours into the stream. I think I've earned it now, so I'm going to get my drink now since you're here now as well.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Okay, you're going to finish up. So Max has had a good week. There's a cop. Oh, I got this magazine and it's good to read. I don't know if it shows. Oh, sorry, it won't show because I have the virtualizer on. Aspect of cognitive superiority. It's military stuff, but that's it. What else are we doing today? Oh, I'm looking at. Okay, so here's my theory about. There's this stuff where Nick Rekieta he accused Aaron of having swallowed Nick's coom, and I looked at the reactions and I kind of thought, well, Aaron is a doofus, but he's just like he has no filter and he's generally honest. And he seemed completely befuddled.
I don't know if he's an honest person, but
no, he's honest. He's not cunning or he doesn't have. So here's my theory.
Maybe he just wants you to think that, man.
Here's where Nick is consistent. Nick is consistent in his projection with this audio visual stuff. It's because of his own shortcomings. So what
also,
I
Suki
think
gets another 5 memberships. Thank you very much. This drink's on you.
Thank you, Suki. So what I think
and Nico
is this,
as well. Thank you very much.
I think Nick, after Aaron had serviced Kayla, like Nick went in for a taste, and that's where everything that happens to him, then he just projects it out and accuses Aaron of doing. That's what Aaron has no clue. Aaron probably finished, left the room.
Nick is
and Nick went in
consummate projector.
So
when you talk about
Nick is the one who went in for a taste. Yeah. And
it wouldn't
Aaron
surprise
would
me
have
at all.
no idea. Yeah,
It wouldn't surprise
I
me at
think
all.
that's
Like
exactly what happened.
That's the only thing that Nick's been doing is projecting on the last couple of months, talking about
Yeah.
how people are nerds. It's because he thinks himself is a nerd,
Mhm.
and there's nothing wrong with being a nerd, but he's obviously insecure about it.
Oh yeah.
Like he literally watches and explains anime when he goes to hedonism to the bouncers.
Well, you really not the
I
bouncers.
still have this photo.
The bulls. I think they were the bulls. You know, Nick.
Well, yeah, like when
Did you realize that Jamaica has these trade records? You can look them up, and they have
this
an
is his
annual,
favorite anime. He's got his he
annual
bought a
exports
DVD, a
of
Blu-ray.
Jamaican bull semen. Yeah, it's true.
Is that can't be true? Don't tell
is.
me that, Max. I don't want to know about that.
No, I mean real cows. You know, not cattle. Bull semen. Yeah.
Speaking of cows, Max, do you know about Tuah?
Oh yeah, I did see that. Boy, and I was watching. I listened to Coffee.
We've got a wife jack. We've got a wife jack with Tuah. There you go.
Oh.
So, to make a long story short, I'm sure most people know about Tuah. But Tuah, this is the Tuah girl. She made one meme, and now she's like famous and making millions of dollars. It's very unfair, but it's the way it is. But she's released a crypto coin, which is very, very funny. Let's have a look.
Okay, y'all, drop your Solana wallets. I'm giving out some meme coins for free. Coming to you December 4th. Okay.
Now, when people say meme coins, what they mean is scam coins. The meme coin doesn't exist. It's all just scams. Everyone goes into this thinking they're going to make a bunch of money. And spoiler alert, you're not going to. Yes, some people made a lot of money on Dogecoin and cryptos and things like that. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen for you. Okay. So she decides to come out with this meme coin, Tuah coin. Well, I'm not sure actually what they're calling it. They're called Hawk coins, I guess. Hawk coins, yes. That's right. That's right. Hawk coins. Now, I was watching the Twitter space when this happened live, and CoffeeZilla did show up in that stream as well. It was very entertaining, and I'm very much looking forward to the inevitable CoffeeZilla expose.
Yeah.
Just see you, so we change your background.
Oh, Japanese soldiers, World War II. Yeah.
Basically, it's a big fucking scam, and she's trying to take money from her entire audience, of which I'm surprised that she even has one at all. But she has her own podcast as well called Talk Tuah.
Dude,
which is
stop.
stupid.
I didn't realize this.
What?
In terms of podcasts, there's Joe Rogan, who's number 2. Joe Rogan, and there's
probably like it's probably one of those other comedians that is a friend with Joe Rogan, like Flagrant or something, or Kill Tony or something. I don't know.
No, but she's number 3. And I thought, no way. But she is number 3 in terms of podcasts. That's like nuts.
Kylan Last with a 20 Canadian says Rito of Healer. That would be his favorite anime, that degenerate. Yes, that's the one he loves the most. He loved it so much that he had to buy the DVD of it. He would talk about Rito of Healer with everyone. And it came out talking about like the cock slaps and things with Drexel. I'm going to be honest. Rito of Healer is a shit anime. The concept is kind of interesting, but it devolves into a harem anime very quickly, and then it becomes very boring. If it stayed as literal revenge porn, it would be funny, but it didn't. It had to become a harem, which sucks. It's all harem animes suck.
Maybe it's Tucker.
It is what it is. But thank you for the 20 Canadians. It's not. Is it even hentai? I guess I don't know. Maybe I've only seen the censored version. I'm not sure. It's definitely ecchi, but I don't know if it's hentai. The difference is very, very minor, though.
Edo. It would be Edo. Maybe. Yeah.
Getting back to this Tuah stuff, though. So they're getting absolutely destroyed as the information comes out, because the thing is, when you do something on the crypto space, it's an open ledger, so you can see everything. So when she started to make this coin, they realized that 96% of the supply of the coins was already pre-mined and owned, and it just got dumped on day one. It got fucking dumped on day one.
Yep.
So over here was one of the guys that is supporting her, and Haley Walsh is the Tuah girl. She retweeted it saying, "There's been a wild amount of FUD." So FUD means fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And typically, what they mean by FUD is they mean criticism. And this is something that's very specific to the crypto space. If someone's saying something about how your things are scam, like your monkey pitches are scams, you call it FUD to try and just try and get rid of any of the criticism. But it said, let us explain. The main piece going around on X is that 96% cluster seen on bubble maps, which shows Hawk tokens being sent to the developer address, to the related address according to tokenomics that was published. The other 3% was seeded into the Mitoria LP and burned. So burned just means it's sent to a wallet where it can't be accessed, so it's no longer accessible. There's no way to like recover in crypto, basically. Like if banks can reverse charges, they can't really do that. 300 million Hawk plus 2,589 Sol equals 1.2 million USD. We were also seeded 3% into a radium pool. Haley's team has absolutely sold no tokens whatsoever. Haley's team has a 10% allocation, which is locked for 1 year and vested over 3 years. The rest of the tokens are distributed into the different wallets as according to the tokenomics. More details to follow. Now, this is just lying. This is just straight up lying. There was community noted to say the team and insiders have actually been selling their tokens since launch. A majority have never purchased anything and have only sold tokens they were given. Haley is lying and will likely have to talk to a judge about this. There's a funny guy. I like this guy. I like this this community note is very, very smart. Very smart. She's gonna have to talk to a judge. That's very good. That's very good. Let's see. Haley's team has sold no tokens whatsoever. Then people are just actually posting the receipts. Sold $300,000. I believe this is actually in 56,000, 46,000, 46,000, 45, 43. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. I believe this is it totals up to about 1.2. 1.2. We got some.
You gotta give him that hook.
There you can see the actual growth chart. This it literally 20 minutes. This thing tanked. In 20 minutes, these crypto scams are so effective that in 20 minutes they were able to basically steal or rug pull millions of dollars.
And spit on that thing. You get me?
It's insane. Like she just did this one thing. She just did this one thing. She made one BJ joke, and she's famous forever, apparently.
Yeah.
And
it's dark.
It's dark.
I just went for the natural dark.
But I'm going to say something. I'll read this one first, and then I'll say what I think about this. Okay. So this guy Dante's, I assume this is a lie, but he says, "I'm so fucked, and I don't know what to do." When the Hawk Tuah girl announced that she'd released a coin, I genuinely thought it'd be a shot at making millions. I convinced my parents to take out a second mortgage of the house, liquidated my assets, and took out a 6-figure loan. And he's saying that he spent $239,000 on Hawk Tuah coins. He's lost it all. I think this is a lie. I don't think he just did this, but I do know people have lost over $20,000 in this coin.
I think it's a variation of the meme one with the JP Morgan Chase thing where people.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Yeah.
Here's my take. If you lost money on Hawk Tuah coin, even though it's a scam, you got what you fucking deserve. I don't care. It's just Haley should get consequences from this. Her team should be facing the penalties from the law when it comes out. But if you lost money on this, you get what you fucking deserve. I don't care.
One exception.
If you
one exception, and
a coin,
this applies.
It's just a meme coin. I'm going to make you get what you deserve.
One big exception is this, and this applies to other influencers. If you're directing your stuff to kids, minors, and they're somehow, that can get you in a lot of trouble.
Well, there was some talk about that with Jake Paul because Jake Paul did the same thing, like a rug pull with the was it Crypto Zoo? Crypto Zoo?
Yeah.
And people did actually bet the farm on Logan Paul. Like there was interviews CoffeeZilla did, and it's like he's like, these are all the poor victims of Logan Paul, and they were victims, but again, in the same situation, I don't really care about their pain. Because if you trusted Logan Paul, you get what you fucking deserve. If you trust Talk Tuah, you get what you fucking deserve, which is nothing. You got baited.
If you have kids like Mr. Beast, like a lot of his viewers are kids, and
there you go. There you go. I even forgot that.
Like,
this is actually true. Jake Paul actually has a hand in her business because Jake Paul's podcasting company that sets up podcasters for nobodies that happen to have a bit of memes going on about them, like what happened with Talk Tuah. So he actually set it up. He actually set it all up. There's a very funny Haley clip that I might show people. I don't know. Do you guys want to see when they did the Ancestry.com result on Talk Tuah? That was an interesting one. We'll see. We might play that. We'll I didn't. If the chat really wants to see the results, we'll see. But there's this guy Jeff C, and he did a pretty good write up on this. And also, I assume there's going to be a CoffeeZilla investigation. But Jeff C says Haley Welsh talked a Hawk Tuah and investors with her MemeCom upcoming launch, and you've got the up and the down. That's what happened to this is the actual chart.
Yeah.
Straight to fucking zero. Straight to fucking zero. Haley Welch just seemingly pulled what is known as a rug pull. Her team reportedly held 97% of the token supply and immediately started selling upon launch, nuking the price. Thankfully, with the online tools like bubble maps, you can see the distribution of tokens very easily. So you can see here, all the tokens are in the big bubble. This is an expensive lesson for new and even intermediate crypto investors about the real risks of meme coin investing. Now, meme coins are just scam coins. The only meme coin was Dogecoin. That's the only coin that people made for an actual meme. Every other coin that was made after Dogecoin was just trying to get money like Dogecoin did, because Dogecoin just fucking exploded.
Oh, stop talking it down. Come on, we got to do our own meme conium. And
well, the thing is, Dogecoin actually has use case applications, because the thing with Bitcoin, one of the issues with Bitcoin is that typically the transactions take 30 minutes to approve, whereas Dogecoin, it takes like 3 minutes. So if you're trading between exchanges, it's sometimes beneficial to buy Dogecoin and then send it to the other exchange, because it'll clear faster than Bitcoin, and you can use it for arbitrage reasons. And before Dogecoin really exploded, it was actually pretty stable at around 40 satoshis each, which is like a decimal of a Bitcoin. It's like eight decimal points is 1 satoshi basically, and Dogecoin was pretty reliably around 40 satoshis. Let me see. Whether this was intentional on her part or due to bad actors on her team, it has highlighted the importance of misretigation. Look at the user below: 30,000. Yes, 30,000 invested and dumped to 2,000. So this person is, I think the previous one was a fake one, but this one I believe is real. Hi, Haley Walsh. My $35,000 I just purchased with Hawk is now worth $2,000 after 10 minutes of buying. He lost $33,000 in 10 minutes. I'm a huge fan of Hawk Tuah. You get what you fucking deserve if you're a huge fan of Hawk Tuah. But you took my life savings. No refunds. No fucking refunds. I purchased your coin Hawk that you were so excited about with my life savings and children's college education fund as well. You get what you fucking deserve. I feel bad for the kids, but you know, they should have been born to a non-stupid parent.
Yeah.
Didn't mention you were going to buy 97% of the supply and sell it almost immediately to make a large profit. This is actually a scam. I would have known. If I would have known that information, I never would have purchased your coin. Well, that's what they don't tell you, because they can't pull the scam if they know that you're about to get rug pulled. Please help me. Or who can help me contact for a refund? There are no refunds, bro. There's no refunds. Yeah. If not, I'll be forced to use legal action. My crypto representative, Kobe, will be in touch. Or Kubi or something. No, there's no refunds, bro. You're fucking gone. So how do you avoid this from happening to you? First, do not ever invest in a coin where the creator is made famous for the noise she makes when sucking dick. That's good advice. That is very good advice. How to avoid this happening to you? If you want to invest intelligently, and then he goes on to probably do his, like, you know, do your own research, tokenomics, look at all the things. So basically, don't get scammed by crypto. I don't understand how this keeps happening to people. How do people keep falling for these stupid things? Like, I think people know they're scams. Like, people know that these are absolutely scams, but it's the same thing with Ponzi schemes as well. People know they're scams, but they're like, it's a scam, but I'm really smart enough to get my money in and out before anyone else does. The thing is, if you're hearing about the Ponzi, it's too late to invest in the Ponzi. The only way to win is to be like the person making the scam.
So I heard with these pump and dumps on with crypto coin and other stuff that people, it would move a lot slower. So they would be like fourth graders, you know, getting your younger brother to stick the fork in the electric socket, you know. You do it. Well, yeah, it didn't end up getting killed.
I never did that.
But well, I did, but
what the fuck? You should do that. No,
I wasn't the one putting the fork in. I convinced my younger brother to do it, you know. Yeah.
That's not a good. That's a bad thing.
That's probably why he hasn't talked to me for a long time. You know,
is he dead?
No, because he had a good memory, and he you know, he goes, yeah. I wasn't a really good brother.
All right,
you know.
Chat. If you want to see the ancestry.com results of Talk to a Girl, put a 1 in the chat, and if there's enough ones, we'll play there. She does a DNA test. It's a fun little clip.
Okay.
But so CoffeeZilla actually posted on Twitter, because he enjoyed the Twitter space and started talking about it as well. Then they cut him off when he asked the questions he's not allowed to ask. But Haley's lawyer reached out to CoffeeZilla and basically tried to distance herself. She's alleging now that she was paid $125,000 up front to shill this coin, And then she was promised 50% of transactional earnings going forward, which is
their service charge was like, I forget what it was, but it was a really high service charge, which they
it was
we needed to keep the snipers away. But I said, you made $1 million right away.
It's insane listening to what they were saying. They're like saying, well, we need to set up accounts in the Cayman Islands. That does not fill me with confidence. If you talk about the Cayman Islands from the very beginning.
Yeah.
But they had a very, I think it was like a 10% transaction.
Wait a minute. Hold on. It was a long time ago. I set up a company in Caymans. I'm sorry. I set up in British Virgin Islands, and then I had
you are a British Virgin, so that makes sense.
And Isle of Man, but then it got moved over to I don't know where. Anyways, you do that when you want to do.
Isle of Man is cool. It's got a really neat little flag.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find this clip. I was watching it earlier. It was very funny. Oh, it's like a 7-minute. Oh no, wait, that's not. All right, I think this is it. Is there a smaller version of this?
There's a.
All right, we'll skip around so we can see it. Mm-hmm. So what's really ironic though, is that her entire brand is spitting on that thing, and when she got the Ancestry.com results right, the test thing, she didn't want to spit in the vial. Like she was afraid to spit on camera.
Mm-hmm.
But they give her their Ancestry.com. Was it 23andMe? I don't know. They give her their 23andMe. She spits in it. She hock tours in that thing, and then they get the results. And let's take a look. They get them really quick, I believe. All right. So this is where they get the results, and this is from Howie Mandel.
Yeah. No. Howie Mandel's cousin or something like that. And he's the guy, doctor or something. Who
we have the
wait before we see the results. Do you have any predictions, Max? She's like, attractive blonde woman, probably like maybe German or something, or English. I don't know.
No, she's probably Hispanic.
Results yet from her spit?
All right. Max is saying Mexican.
Mexican.
Another Mexican.
Or actually, here, all the guys on that crypto scam, almost all of them. This is weird. Are Jewish, so she's going to be Jewish too, and then that will make the conspiracy.
Max,
complete.
you can't just say that stuff.
No, I'm saying like Howie Mandel. Come on.
There, look.
Here's the results, Max. Do you want to read it out?
She's Jewish. Okay, ask her not to be Jewish. Yeah. Then absolutely the conspiracy. The entire scam is they identified everyone, all those players on that scam. They were going Jewish.
Look, she's broadly East Asian, 0.0%.
Oh no! Look at
she's European. She's 99.6% European. Isn't that amazing?
I gotta say, hey, that's terrible. You're just reinforcing stereotypes. What are you doing?
It's very funny in retrospect, I suppose.
Yeah.
Bob Chu with $2 says, Aaron,
that's why she didn't want to spit for free.
Ask him for. Oh, that's rude. That's rude.
What? It's true.
Is that how it works? You just taste the recipe.
This is.
BP says Hock Tuah. Very good. Very good.
Oh, that's good.
Oh
yeah.
Oh dear.
Okay, so that was pretty much. No, but that was you're just looking at all the different players in that crypto scam.
Well, apparently, Coffee already has a video out on his Voidzilla channel.
Yeah,
I meant a real video on the main channel, not the second channel. All right, we'll take a look. We'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at what CoffeeZilla said about the thing. Have you ever done it like a DNA test, Max?
No, I'm too scared to.
Isn't that like giving the government your DNA results though? Like giving them the code for Foxdie to you, basically? That's my conspiracy.
Yeah, no. Okay. Oh, this is the cool thing. I thought I can't read that. It's in some. What is it? Defense. Oh, there's a sword. Oh, awesome. It's a ninja.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
When I was at the Kure naval base,
like
they have a display with like the dolphin pins or whatever. Ooh. Like if you want to be on a submarine, if you finish your submarine training, you get like a dolphin badge or something. Mm-hmm. And everywhere in the world has them. And there's like a whole collection of dolphin badges from around the world. It was kind of cool.
Yeah.
All right. So this is CoffeeZilla. I'm going to skip to. I want to see what the lawyer says. Okay. All right. Lawyer DMs are at the end apparently. Okay. Let's take a look. Here we go.
Was unclear until her transactional entertainment lawyer contacted me.
Christian Baker.
I'm just editing this live, guys. He contacted me and said he wants to have a offline combo. I said I can't do that. This is a live story. If she wants to comment on the story or shed light on how much she's been paid, kindly respond. I'll put
That's a good move to do. Like, they always try and get you into the private convo. Let's just quietly talk about this, like, away from the scenes. Could we just be? No, you don't get to go quiet on this. Hawk Tuah girl, tell us everything.
Up all these screenshots. They say she was paid in advance from a company to handle the token marketing dev launch of $125,000.
So she got like what 10 times what Boogie got? It was Boogie 10,000, right? When he did his fatty coin. Because this is exactly the same situation as Boogie's coin. It was a use a celebrity's name, like Boogie's. I mean, not really a celebrity, but you know what I mean. Use someone who has some sort of online recognition's name. You pay them an upfront free. They dump the coin. It all goes to shit. Your fans get mad at you. You literally sell out your fans, and then they move on to the next like locust. These crypto locusts. But I guess Boogie only got $10,000.
Someone
is
said,
literally worth 10 boogies, which is strange.
Someone asked in the chat, why do scammers always talk to CoffeeZilla? And I'm thinking, you know what? CoffeeZilla is the Chris Hansen. What Chris Hansen is for pedos, CoffeeZilla is for scammers. And have you seen all those To Catch a Predator where he goes, why don't you take a seat? And they try to talk their way out. They could explain everything. It's a misunderstanding.
Well, the funny thing is that people always say, I used to like CoffeeZilla until he came after me. Like, you see that all the time with people doing crypto scams. They're like, well, CoffeeZilla's, he's the number one name in crypto integrity, and he's always right and does a lot of due diligence. But when he came after me,
I think he's gonna vouch for him. He's gonna say, oh, you're of all these scammers out here, you're legit. You know, you're legit, Max Murrah.
And like CoffeeZilla's currently being sued by Logan Paul, I believe, or Jake Paul, one of those cunts. Yeah. And the sad thing for Coffee, and he did like a fundraiser, so he's okay now. Yeah. But the sad thing for Coffee was that he had liability insurance, but it didn't cover defamation lawsuits, which is exactly what he wanted it for, right? So it's a very sad turn of event. He got scammed himself from his insurance company.
Sure.
Yeah. Let's see what else the lawyer
guy. I think he's an organic chemistry or chemical engineering major, and he's very intelligent. He's like, I
like CoffeeZilla. He's good until he comes after me.
That's the only money she's seen to date. If you have any specific questions, happy to answer. I said, what company was she paid by? What's the agreement? Did she see a cut of the pre-sale or fees from the liquidity pool? The best thing for my story is to get a copy of the agreement, of course. Christian replies, she was supposed to get 50% of net proceeds after payments of costs.
That's insane. Like, well, after it's like, that's net, not gross, but so that could be whittled down and scammed out of it. 50%, that's that's a lot.
Yeah.
To third parties. Is that the 18 employees or whatever they have? I don't know. I don't know what costs they have, but 50% is a lot. They were supposed to be mutually approved between her and the company. All decisions regarding to allocation were supposed to be mutually approved. Those decisions haven't been made at this point. The goal would be to salvage the token for the holders and her true fans and do right by the community. That's not going to happen. I can't provide the actual contract, as you can imagine, but I'm happy to continue to be responsive. Your spaces and comments have been helpful, blah, blah, blah. I appreciate what okay. We all know. They always say that, by the way. This guy does not appreciate what I do, I don't think. You know, an entertainment lawyer appreciating somebody talking about somebody, I don't think that's true. Look, the big deal, what he said, is 50% net proceeds. That's a lot, actually. Now, again, 18 employees working on the Hawk Tuah coin. I don't know how much they're going to end up seeing at the end of the day, but it's going to be real money. The question about salvage the coin, want to salvage the coin. Guys, the problem is you've sold millions of dollars of pre-sale tokens, and they're still out there. There's still people with these coins who are waiting to sell. So the second you go and salvage it for the fans. Yeah,
there's no salvaging this situation, because once trust is lost in a crypto, it doesn't come back. You just move on to the next crypto.
Yep.
Like that's why this is so effective, because people have like goldfish memories and they just think that they're going to make money on this. Like, this is the one that I make money on, but no, they lose it every time and it just keeps happening. The people that are doing the scams are the only people that are making money doing these. It's just the way it is. And they just keep doing it. And for some reason, people are so stupid they don't notice this.
You're kind of dooming them again. So the best situation is just people Well, I don't really know. I don't like to give advice in situations like this. You know, it's like asking someone how to clean up a car crash. It's like, well, ideally, this wouldn't have happened in the first place. So can't give too much advice there. The situation's horrible as it is. I appreciate them actually responding, though. But she is actually making a lot of money off of this. And I do actually think that's a problem.
Oh, there's something I forgot to say as well. When she was doing the Twitter space, Coffee was coming on and like destroying their arguments and everything, and they were getting so much blowback. Like they were just yelling at. There was this guy. What was his name? Like Doc Holliday or something? Or
Hollywood? That's Howie Mandel's cousin or something.
Oh, okay, yeah. So they had that guy, and he was like talking. He was like, "You guys should be thanking me for bringing crypto to the degenerate or the normies. You should be kissing my ass for giving you a chance to be part of it." Like he was so
right.
I don't know, it was so weird, like talking down to the people that you're trying to get to invest in it. And then the craziest thing of us all is that Haley was just basically, she was the host, but she wasn't really taking part in anything, but she doesn't know anything about crypto, let's be honest. She just saw a bag and took it and doesn't give a shit, but she's going to get hers. But then she's just like, she comes in and she's like, oh, I'm really sleepy, guys. Time to go to bed.
See you tomorrow.
People are losing thousands of dollars. And she's scamming her fans. She's rug pulling them. Then the second that she gets criticized, she's like, oh, I'm really sleepy. Time to go to bed. Oh, it's bedtime, guys. See ya. Doesn't even give a shit.
Tuesday.
Yeah, she's a real see you next Tuesday.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think this whole situation is terrible, and she should feel bad. I hope she does, really, because she got in bed with these people who clearly saw dollar signs. She saw dollar signs, and they did this, and people have been hurt. So, yeah, that's basically it. Oh, one more message from Hawk's lawyer. This guy keeps messaging me. He says, this was not a speculative opportunity for her. She truly didn't intend to fleece fans. She genuinely wanted to make this a community token of fans and onboard Web 2 to Web 3 and be a long-term.
Who believes this shit?
Wait, stop this. This is her lawyer. And that second sentence is really interesting. When I first heard it, I thought, wait a minute. Her lawyer is saying she truly didn't intend to fleece fans. He has to be really careful. He's basically saying she fleeced her fans. Of course she did.
Yeah.
But he's putting it.
Who believes? Like nobody.
What a moron.
Nobody wants to use meme coins to be part of a community. The only reason they get them is because they want to make money. It's like we're just trying to make a community project with Web 2 to Web 3. Nobody gives a shit, and nobody knows what that means. They just think, maybe I can make money. That's all they think about. This is absolute cope. Holy shit. Will Heron with a 5 says, good morning, meme and chat. Thank you very much for the 5, Will Heron. Maybe I should be giving you the 5. We used a lot of your clips today. They're very, very useful.
Clips are funny. They're I watch. I've subscribed both on Twitter and also his YouTube channel, which is good.
Yeah.
Post it.
I like Will until he comes after me.
He's
nothing. Cindy Collins says, Max with a solid comparison there. Love it. Yes, Max has a lot of fans. I got some angry comments saying that I was not letting you talk last time, Max. But the thing is, they don't understand that you can talk all night. If I don't stop you, there's no stopping you. And there's another pinned message. It says, talk to your lawyer. Response says, I watched the video just to clarify. The 50% of net proceeds mentions from the allocation of tokens, 10% locked for 1 year, and 3% vestiture. That wouldn't be realized until if and when she sold them. Out of her 50%, she would have to pay her non-crypto team too. So in reality, she would likely only hold 3% of tokens withdrawn, if not on the above schedule. That sounds like bullshit to me.
Yeah.
That sounds like absolute bullshit.
He's they're really despicable. I mean, the whole group of them. I was listening to them on that Twitter space thing, and then I listened to.
You were listening to? I was listening to. Yeah.
And then I listened to Coffee. He did one later.
He did a Twitter space. What is it with what is it with crypto bros and Twitter spaces? They never just do a live stream. They always just like, let's do a Twitter space. We love Twitter. Daddy Elon is gonna share. Is gonna help us out if we use
because
Twitter.
they can sync it in with their promo on the Twitter. A lot of people are on there and using it, so they can bring them in more efficiently than any other platform. I think
the picture I shared of Ralph at the beginning of the stream. So this is kind of all like comes around.
Yeah,
it all comes around. Where I found the Ralph picture, this Ralph picture right here.
What?
This is the picture he said.
It's photoshopped.
Put Hot Tuah in jail. Arrest her.
Wait, it's photoshopped, or he has Botox. He's too ghetto poor to have Botox.
It's a filter. It's like a Snapchat filter.
Yeah, it's filter. Okay,
look
Photoshop
at this chin. Look how pointy this chin is.
It's fat. Well, and look at his arm. Look at his right arm. Look at look at that arm. Look at that.
Pay no attention. Pay no attention to this arm.
Look at that. Cellulite. He has like cellulite
what's
on
that?
his bicep. That's disgusting.
Hey, but look, he's got his $20,000 family ring though. Still, that's good. But yeah, this is a stop. He's got to lay off the Snapchat filters.
That's really gross.
I like Ralph though. Like Ralph's funny. He says such iconic things. Cats don't fold the bullshit. It's like who would think about that? Like who would think? We need like a Ralph coin.
Does he have a college degree? Did he go to? He didn't.
We need Gunt coin. Where's Gunt coin? I think Ralph went to college for journalism, actually, wasn't it?
Oh, really? Wow.
But don't think he passed. Like he didn't. According to Ralph, he didn't pay the $300 exit fee,
yeah,
so he never got his degree. But I thought he was studying journalism.
He must have flunked out. He's and I don't know, was that before or after it became a Xantard? He's
Will Heron says Ralph is funny until he tells everyone you did coke with him. Wait, Will, did you actually meet Ralph? Is that part of the story true? Did you meet him, but you just didn't do coke and hookers with him? I have to know the details. Inquiring minds want to know. Ralph does tell some quite. Nick Rekieta said I could come on your grave. That's not against the law. There's something about the way he talks. It's infectious.
Huh? Oh, I'll say this. I prefer PPP's impersonation of him. I can listen to that all day, every day.
He's really good. I think I'm not sure how he when PPP does the Ralph impersonation, he sounds like he's out of breath, which is just the right way to do it. I think maybe you have to be fat. Maybe you have to be fat.
No, PPP was actually training to be a preacher.
Yeah.
And so he puts infects that into the impersonation, which is just great because it's
he does have some pretty good impressions. I'm envious that I can't do his Ralph as well. But I think I do a pretty good Cog when I need to.
Oh,
it's Cog's life in it.
Well, I have to watch Cog. No, I don't. Does his wife come on? Does his Indian wife come on? Because maybe I can try that.
I mean, if you need like a curry recipe, maybe she'll come on. I don't know.
I like the way he docked himself. They put a complaint on Google reviews or something, and they wanted a refund for like $5.
How did? Hold on a second.
That was.
How did the post got deleted?
Which one?
Let me see if I can get a copy of this before it's
post?
all right. We were talking about British people, and I got an update from No Context Brits saying arcade prizes are getting worse, but the post was deleted. But I have a cached image of it. So apparently, if you go to an arcade, like the coin pushers or whatever, you now get 6 tokens or 300 for corned beef.
What country?
Prince's Ham?
UK.
The UK. It's the UK, in it.
Oh.
What's going on in the UK? It's poverty hours over there.
Yeah, I think
go to your coin pusher.
I lived there on assignment, and it was really expensive, but I could expense everything. And I was living in Tokyo, and I this is a long time ago, and I said, how can you afford to live in London?
It was a good price. Japanese people love like corned beef for some reason, or spam or whatever. But tell me about London.
Kind of. No, London was really, really expensive. And I couldn't understand it. It was corned beef. Spam maybe down in Okinawa. I don't think so much in the mainland in Japan. But spam isn't corned beef. Then you have corned beef.
I was gonna say spam is shit, but the spam police are coming past me, so I gotta be quiet until they go past.
The corned beef though is you know what? The Filipinos do really good cook up with corned beef and what is it? They make corned beef hash.
Every Filipino food that I've tasted, I have not liked. I'm sorry.
Adobo is great,
except for like the beach barbecue feast thing they had. But this is like a fish fry, right? Like a fish.
Didn't you go to Jubilee's when you were in Manila? That's good.
You mean Jolly
fast food place? Joby, whatever. Yeah, Jolly Bees. Yeah.
It was just a burger place. It wasn't that good. I don't get it. I don't get Filipino cooking. It wasn't good for me.
I like it. It's because the stuff I go to the Filipino store and I'll get my I think they call them the bollo, like these red hot chili peppers.
I was going to tell a story about. I don't know if I should tell it. Wait, Trucker Bob with the $10 says, "Well, howdy, meme. Well, thank you very much. I'll get you a Rekieta quote for you. We'll press the random. Oh no, I missed the raccoon one. Shit, I missed it. Can I go back? No. Right. This one says, "Why do people pretend that they don't revel in cuckoldry? Most cuckoldry is done with a juice." I'm not sure what that means. I've never tried showers. Met some pastors addicted to them. Never ever want to try it. There you go. No. Sorry, what we're talking about?
I can't remember.
No, it's probably not important.
Oh, I'm gotta get rid next or my time Sunday. I think it's
You mean our time? I mean
our time. Yeah. Sunday.
I mean, we're not spending it together, but
yeah. Well, Saturday evening. I'm gonna go. I forget. It's I'm gonna get it all. I always get it. There's a Pearl Harbor discussion. I'm gonna
what about
with
what they're gonna do it again? Pearl Harbor 2?
Pearl Harbor, yeah, it's 30th anniversary of Pearl Harbor. So it's gonna be Sal. Sal is gonna come on and he said maybe Sean.
Potentially
Martin,
Sean.
Potentially Criminal might come.
Yeah,
I don't know if he will.
Sure.
So we'll talk about
what stream is this?
It's gonna be on Sal's Dali's channel.
Dali.
I don't have the link. Yeah, I did it last year. I did it last year on the 82nd anniversary of Pearl Harbor.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, Pearl Harbor. But that was I gotta get I gotta get it a little bit prepared for it.
Since we were talking about PPP, actually, I saw this copy. This is one of my favorite copy pastas.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not, but there's someone made it about PPP. I've been saving this one, but this is I love this copy pasta. It's so good. Okay, so this person says, and this is a copy pasta, obviously. I actually met PPP at a grocery store in Las Vegas last year. I told him how cool it was to meet him in person, but I didn't want to be a douche and bother him and ask for photos or anything. He said, "Oh, like you're doing right now?" I was taken aback. All I could say was, "Ha," but he kept cutting me off and saying, "Ha, ha, ha," and closing his hand shut in front of my face. I walked away and continued with my shopping and heard him chuckle as I walked off. When I came to pay for my stuff up front, I saw him trying to walk out the door with like 15 Milky Ways in his hands without paying. The girl at the counter was very nice about it and professional and was like, "Sir, you need to pay for those first." At first, he kept pretending to be tired and not to hear her, but eventually turned back around and brought them to the counter. When she took one of the bars, he started scanning it multiple times. He stopped her and told her to scan them each individually to prevent any electoral interference, and then turned around and winked at me. I don't even think that's a word. After she scanned each bar and put them in a bag and started to say the price, he kept interrupting her by yawning really loudly. That's one of my that's an old-fashioned copy pasta. I love it.
That's not for real. That's
it's not for real.
Joke.
No. It's a copy pasta. So it's like an old internet story, like the Navy SEALs. Have you ever seen the Navy SEAL?
Oh, and I know the Navy SEAL one. Yeah.
So you just change it a little bit, and then you talk about someone. But I particularly like that one because it's just so funny. Trying to steal the Milky Bars. Sorry, it appeals to my warped sense of humor.
Yeah, I mean, they are still doing the costumes, the synchronized costumes, which is really impressive.
Oh, from the Feltsgiving or something?
Yeah, they're still doing it.
No, I think it's like the Christmas one or something.
Okay. Yeah. But I don't know. The screenshot I sent you, that was a message I had with Andrew at Legal Mindset, because he's covering Johnny Somali and
you mean legal
mindset.
No.
And
Trent Rob says member chat for 3 months. Thank you very much. Speaking about members, if we get 180 more likes on this stream, I will gift 5 free memberships to the chat. Just 105 to go. Free memberships. You get all the emojis, like Max Mura's face. That's the most popular one. and also the Discord membership and access to the private streams like the one we had last time with Legal Mindset, where we talked about the possibility of the divorce arc.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Discord link is invalid. I'll fix it right now. I'll fix it right now. Okay.
Andrew just did while you were streaming. He came out with a update on Johnny Somali. He caught a few more charges. He caught more charges. So his trial's coming. Johnny Somali's coming up on December 20th, but he caught more charges, which is great.
Yeah, it's I want to do some more Johnny Somali content because we covered him earlier when he was in Japan, but the thing is, Andrew's coverage is so good. I feel like I can't really add anything to it. I'd just be copying what he's saying. I mean, half the internet is just copying shit anyway, but you know what I mean.
But if you do it, because you keep so much in tune with Andrew, because I think a lot of people who are trying to follow the Somali story, they get the facts wrong, because they're not really cognizant of which sources are reliable and which aren't, And Andrew keeps track of that.
All right, changes to all members. All right. If you go to my channel, the community page, there's a new Discord invite link for the 6th of December. There you go. There's a new one. It's up. You can now join as a member. Good stuff. Good stuff. I mean, you are a member, but anyway, what is this? So you know Konotaro, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So he wants to put through a bill that is like similar to the Australian one with the no social media for under 16-year-olds. Is that
okay? So yeah, I saw the tweet. You tagged me on that one, and
yeah.
Okay, so I had to do this. First of all, that was a stream where it was referencing a summarized article. So I went to that article, and then it was quoting that one goes to a Mainichi newspaper article. The Mainichi newspaper article cited a talk show that he was on the other day called Ebema Prime. So if you look at my reply, I have all the links. I said, you got it. And I even have the timestamp of the thing. So you kind of listen to it. And in that conversation, they referenced the proposed Australian legislation restricting minors from social media. And yeah, he made these comments, but here's a couple of things to put in context. Konotaro is no longer the digital minister. He was a digital minister.
Okay.
And so he was giving opinions. Probably he would go back and backtrack them, because the way that if you really don't like him, you'll interpret it as he would say, yeah, we should do something like what Australia is doing, and that
don't
maybe
listen to Australians. It's terrible. They pass
and
that
try to do proof of social media, proof of age. Use my number, and actually, I discussed it with somebody.
But Japanese people hate my number.
I know, and okay, so
my number is a tax identification number. By the way,
I'm not going to say this
in Japan.
Okay, somebody who worked for him kind of said, "Well," and I said, "You moron! What?" So like I said cynically, like, TikTok like the Chinese platforms, you give them what? How are you going to give them access to? They are asking Japanese to give their my numbers, and they won't abuse it. Come on, this is completely ridiculous. So
Japanese people love cash too. Actually, like there's a lot of people that just keep their cash in like mattresses, basically.
Yeah. So I had
like $1 million yens worth of cash in my house until very recently. I decided to put it in the bank, but I like keeping cash.
Yeah, when you live alone, I mean, but when you live alone,
you wanker. Should we do some Japanese news? There's a little bit of Japanese news.
Miho Nakayama, she passed away. She was 54. She was really hot, when she was younger. And
you should talk to Jeff about that. He loves talking about old Asian women.
Well, no, but she died. She was found dead in her bathtub.
Does Canada count as Asia? You could talk about that gun law, the gun thing as well. Did you hear about that? So Canadians are banning guns. Oh no, they're confiscating guns and giving it to the Ukrainians. They
want to confiscate like firearms that they deem unnecessary, like those Canadians who are using firearms for. They had a whole list of them for like hunting, and they want to give them to Ukrainians, which is like.
So here's, there's actually one story about Japan I want to talk about that's very cute. But this is, first of all, I'll just bait the chat a little bit. So good news, chat. You don't have to be forever alone, because you can now get paid to talk to Japanese women. Get paid to chat alone with Japanese girls. Part-time job. Sounds like a scam. It's apparently legit. So I read through this. What basically is happening is these Japanese girls, are playing dating sim games.
Yeah.
Well, like, what do they call them? Like ultimate games or something like that? I can't remember.
I'm not sure.
But basically, they're playing like dating simulator games. And they're looking for men to hire. I guess you could be a woman too, I suppose. But I'm not sure why a woman would want to talk to another woman. But basically, they write messages in their dating game, and you respond to their messages in the dating game as a real person because it's cheaper than getting AI or something. So you can actually be paid to talk to Japanese women. But they're all fujoshis, I assume, because they're playing dating games. But the option is on the table if you want to talk to Japanese
more than that. If you look at the article, just like that was from a Sora News, Rocket News article, they have a link to the job application form. It's in Japanese, of course. But I thought maybe.
Well, yeah, you have to talk to them in Japanese, obviously.
But do you want to apply? I mean, hey, let's.
No, I'm busy. I have enough. My one Japanese girlfriend is enough. I don't have to talk.
Hey, I have a question. Like, because I asked a question. My friend works. I have a number of friends who work in Major League Baseball and NPB, which is a Nippon Pro Baseball. And the question was, do I know any? They have to be Japanese. Who would be interested in working as interpreters for Japanese baseball players who will be going to the MLB in the U.S. They can't be Ippei. I heard he's doing Uber Eats up in Hokkaido or something like that. But
oh no.
So my
Cheese and Joyo with a $2 says, shout out to the #1 Melton Pay Pig, King Kush. Why would you be a Melton Pay Pig? That's a weird decision to make in life. But go on, Max.
Well, that would be when King Kush. I thought that was Nick Rekieta, but yeah.
Good question. But here's a really cute story, Mac. This is so adorable. This is like a feel-good story. Like, there's been so much degeneracy in today's stream. I wanted to give something nice to the chat. So there's like, you know how Totoro loves acorns?
Yes.
There's a acorn bank in Japan. So basically, you can go around collecting acorns with your children, and you wash them, and then you send them. You wash them and you type them up, and you make sure they're good, because if the acorn sinks, it's a good acorn. If it floats, it's a bad acorn. But you collect all your acorns, and then you take them to the acorn bank. So that you can see it's like the Donguri Ginko, and they give you a little passbook. So in Japan, you get a book with all your like accounts in and stuff, and you can save your acorns. So you can literally put your acorns in the bank, and you can redeem them. You can redeem 100 acorns for one like tree sapling, or you can just try and get the high score of how many acorns you have. So they have like this. So this little girl saved up 135 acorns, and it's in her acorn bank booklet, and it just sounds so sweet. It's just so nice. Just the thought. Imagine doing that. It sounds like so much fun.
Oh, acorns.
So I sent this to BP. He can do it with his kids. I think it's just a very adorable story. Very feel good. Nothing wrong with
acorns?
I think they use them for fertilizer or something. When I was in Japan, are the acorns tax free? Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Yeah, this is a Japanese bank. There's no usury, so it's all tax free. But there you go. You can have it. This is what my bank book looks like, basically. I mean, not with acorns, obviously, but you. Sorry. Basically, every bank account you get in Japan has a book like this that has a copy of all your transactions, and it's like shows your deposits and withdrawals and everything, and your total amounts and everything. I like the Japanese bank books, actually. I always get my bank book updated in the ATM, how it like prints everything. It's fun. It's very old school, but for some reason I enjoy it. But there you go. The little acorn bank. It's so adorable. And it's Totoro Studio Ghibli inspired. So I like Totoro. I thought it was cute. Very cute. Wiggle Wheel, yes, tax free. Yes, indeed. And I just thought I would share that, even though probably nobody cares except for me about the acorn bank. But one time I went to Nara, which is where the deer park is.
Sure.
And I got some actual tax-free acorns. I was feeding the deer, and a woman came up and gave me a handful of acorns. She's like, "Here you go. They like these better than the cookies." So then I had like free acorns to feed the deer. It was awesome. I had a real good time. I have some photos of that time actually somewhere.
Okay, now I remember. Hazelnut. I learned 2 weeks ago. Hazelnut is oreshnik in Russian. Oreshnik.
What up, my oreshnik?
Oreshnik is hazelnut.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the missile they had, the hypersonic missile.
Really? That is interesting.
Yeah. They name them after little vegetables and things like that. So instead of like normally we'll have missile names that be like Super Stormtrooper, Smasher, You know, the Russians are cute. They'll call
someone
their,
in chat figured it out.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say.
What? Oreshnik.
Yeah.
Oreshniker. Oh, Oreshniker.
Max, come on.
What? That's
Come
not
on.
a bad word. It's Russian. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, so the Russian foreign minister, Sergei Lavrov, he interviewed Tucker Carlson interviewed him.
Oh, really?
And it was interesting because I didn't know this, but the Russians don't use, there's this kind of, maybe it's trendy, hybrid warfare that they don't have a word for it. They don't use it. But Lavrov actually acknowledged in the first minute, he was talking about, well, some people call this hybrid warfare. And then he paused. He was in English. He wasn't speaking in Russian. Then he goes, yeah, I would call that the Ukraine war. He said there's a lot.
Well, since we're talking about the Ukraine,
warfare.
we may as well go through this article then. The one I mentioned previously. But Canada bans more types of firearms and proposes donating guns to the Ukraine. You don't need those guns, silly Canadians. Why don't you just give them to the Ukraine? Come on. What are you worried about? The Canadian government is outlawing another 324 firearm varieties. Guns, the public safety minister says, belong on the battlefield, not in the hands of hunters or sport shooters. Ontario, Canada, Tuesday, is outlawing. Canada said on Thursday, it is outlawing another 324 firearm varieties. Guns, the public safety minister say, belong on the battlefield, not in the hands of a sports or hunter. What about fighting today's super animals like electric eels and polar bears and things?
You know what this with Japan, you know what this reminds me of? Like Japan's actually had a number of what they called sword hunts, but the most famous one or infamous one was in 1588. So Hideyoshi had the great sword hunt. So they would sweep the country and they would confiscate all the swords. And you never think like, hey, that's a great idea. But when I was in my 20s, there was this American guy who
was that in 1588 as well.
1588, and no, he wrote this article in the Chunichi newspaper, and he's an American. He's from Wisconsin, and he said America should do the same thing. And I thought, this guy's, you meet these gaijin, they spend too much time in Japan. They go native in a weird way. And
I can see it, yeah.
And I just thought, you are effing idiot,
Well, Chinichi newspaper is better than Chinichi newspaper.
Yes. By the way, so I love this cartoon, Crayon Shin-chan. Shin-chan, yeah.
I knew a British girl that was very much into that.
Okay, so I was watching the latest. It's Asahi TV puts
still
reruns. So it was on YouTube. But before I could watch Crayon Shin-chan today, a commercial came up, and it was a woman's voice, and it was for, she said in Japanese, like, if you want your chin-chin, you want your wiener to be bigger, this is a men's clinic for whatever. And I thought, this is weird. This is a children's cartoon. Of course, Crayon Shin-chan says a lot of things, off-color comments. But that I was laughing and I was shocked because I thought, well, but it was good. Today's cartoon was pretty funny.
So yeah, Crayon Shin-chan is like a Japanese kids cartoon, but it has a lot of dirty humor in it. You may have seen it before. It looks like this, and
he talks like
I think it's kind of like Rocko's Modern Life almost. Like Rocko's Modern Life, where it's like a kids show, but it has like adult humor in it. It's kind of like that.
So this is how I learned Japanese.
Really, that explains a lot.
Well, I read that. Yeah.
Continuing with this, though, it says that Ottawa also said it's working with the government of Ukraine to see how the guns could be donated to support the fight against Russians in the invasion of Ukraine. The move follows the May 2020 ban of 1,500 makes and models of firearm. I can't even imagine there being that many types, actually. A number that grew to more than 2,000 by November this year with new variants were identified. The latest restriction announced Thursday by Public Safety Minister Dominique LeBlanc follows expressions of concern from gun control advocates that many assault-style rifles were not included in the 2020 ban. This means these firearms can no longer be used, LeBlanc said. Defense Minister Bill Blair said Canada approached Ukrainian authorities who expressed interest in some of the guns. Every bit of assistance we can offer the Ukrainians is one step towards their victory. Ukraine is not going to win, guys. Come on now. This is ridiculous. It's fake. It's on ABC News, though, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think this is real. Canada's fake. That's the thing. This newspaper is real, but
No,
Canada's fake.
Canada's a socialist country, and like I said before, like Canada celebrates its communist heroes, and you're going, really? Yeah, they do.
It's not. It's apparently. Did I get trolled? Is it actually just fake? It's
no. It's for real.
It's true. It's not fake. Okay. Fake news. I'm assuming this is real until someone can prove that it's not real.
So, because of Canada, the reason why Japan has a communist party in Japan is because of a Canadian diplomat named Norman Herbert. What is it? Norman E.H. Norman. He was a diplomat. He was born in Japan. He was a son of missionaries. I think he was a missionary, but he was a communist, and he was in charge after World War II. He was in charge of determining which political parties needed to stay. There are too many of them, so he went out of his way to ensure that the Communist Party of Japan wasn't deleted, and and Canadians are proud of it. They there's also a doctor named Norman Bethune. He was a communist, and he accompanied Mao Zedong on the Long March, and then I think he died of hepatitis or something. But then in the 1970s, Mao Zedong wrote an essay praising him, and when he wrote that essay, it's in every frickin' textbook in China, so they have schools and everything.
Sorry, I read the next part of this article. I gotta finish this. Hold on. Mass shootings are relatively rare in Canada, but newly announced measures come on the eve of the 35th anniversary of the. I guess this is E. coli. How do you pronounce this word? E. coli. E. coli. The E. coli Polytechnic in Montreal shooting, where a gunman killed 14 women before killing himself. The Ruger Mini 14 was used by the gunman. Mark Lepine was among the weapons included in the 2020 ban. Natalie Provost, a survivor who was wounded in the attack, said Thursday that she was targeted for being a woman studying engineering. Women get out, These are just killing weapons, war weapons, military weapons. I'm proud we are doing something, she said.
Oh, it's like an M14. That's what it is like.
Canada has fewer mass shootings than the US, in part because of the lack of easy access to guns, though the US population is also far larger than Canada's. Officials have acknowledged gun smuggling to Canada illegally are often used by criminals. Opposition Conservative leader Pierre called the announcement a stunt by Canadian Prime Minister Justo Trudeau's government that the attacks licensed and law-abiding hunters and sport shooters.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that stat, that visual I gave you? I sent to you and BP.
Yes.
And it was like firearm homicide rate per 100,000, and for the U.S. And I checked; it wasn't fake. It was like.
People are saying this is a real article. Like someone said, like Nova's saying it's fake, but every article I'm looking up as of 15 hours ago say it's real. So I don't know what to believe. Why should I believe Nova?
For Black Americans, it was 19.8 out of firearm homicides out of 100,000. For white Americans, it was 1.7. That's a huge difference. Yeah. I mean, you can.
No, I mean, I know the statistic that you're talking about.
Yeah. So
I mean, the reality is that the majority of mass shootings in America are gang shootings, and mass shooting it sounds like it's like 20 people or something, right? But a mass shooting is just like 2 or more people. Is it 2 or more or 3 or more people? It's a very small amount of people. I'm pretty sure it's like 3 or 4 or something like that. And yeah, they're basically all just gang incidents. but it like completely skews the numbers.
But
and
you
could
can't
say
talk
crazy
about the
numbers like
color of
America has,
crime.
like-
You can't talk about the color of crime.
Well,
It's
the thing
racist.
is, it's kind of related to economic factors, and I know I'm going to get some shit for saying this, but well, actually, no, it isn't. No, actually,
No,
no,
it isn't. It isn't.
Sorry, it actually
Look
isn't.
at the
No,
numbers.
Actually,
Look at
actually
the number.
isn't.
You know,
No, I'm sorry. I just remembered
that's
that.
this biggest freaking fake cope that is out
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
You know, it's
No,
social.
no. What I was gonna say actually was that if you use selective enforcement of policing in the high crime, because like 90% of crime happens in like a 6-block radius or something crazy like that. If you increase police presence in that 6-block radius, it actually drastically reduces crime. But the thing is, they're not allowed to do selective enforcement in like hot areas because it's seen as racism. So you have to do like even distribution of police across the entire cities and stuff. When literally there's every city in the world, 90% of the crime happens within like a 6-block radius. It's insane stacked. But it is what it is.
Well, yes.
Oh,
I'm
man,
not.
there's some naughty comments in the chat. It's about the economics of owning Jordans. I'm getting another drink after that one.
Oh, that's really. Oh, wow. That's nuts. Oh, but the interview of Tucker Carlson, he did it of Sergei Lavrov. He's the foreign minister of Russia since for the past 20 years. So he's been around. It was an interesting interview. It was a little bit dry. It wasn't like the interview with Putin, but it was interesting. The first, if you go to that, they have it on YouTube, and in the from the 59 for the first minute, that's when he makes a comment, and he actually.
What are you talking about?
The interview with the Russian foreign minister. So from the point of the term hybrid warfare, it was the first time, I think, I'm not 100%
in the inner city?
Sure.
What do you mean by hybrids? What are we talking about here?
So
what kind of hybrids
kind of unconventional with information warfare and infrastructure attacks and everything that was, in and around. If you're looking at a hybrid approach, then you would look at disinformation, things like that.
I feel personally attacked by this. I hated the I hated the hybrids in StarCraft 2. Like the hybrids were kind of interesting in StarCraft 1 when you have the secret mission with Zeratul. But like in StarCraft 2, I hated their design and I hated everything about how they did the story in StarCraft 2. It's so lame. Like Kerrigan turns into like Space Jesus fairy woman. It's so stupid.
So basically, it's this hybrid warfare definition. It's kind of weird. It gets kind of wonky. There's a guy named Frank Hoffman. So 2007.
Chair dogs. That's a good reference to is that Heretics of June or Chapter House of June? They have chair dogs. Chair dogs are like biologically engineered chairs. It's in the Frank Herbert June verse. But yeah, they're like they just want one of those throwaway things where it's like it's a chair, but it's like an animal, and they're just genetically engineered, I suppose. Maybe they're made by the Talaxu or something. Who can say? But they sound very comfortable.
I don't know.
Stop interrupting, Max.
Well, okay. So, anyways, it was the first time you heard somebody at the highest level at the Russian level that actually acknowledged it, or you referred to the term hybrid warfare, and that was kind of noteworthy. But who knows? I think definition is just it's a combination of unconventional, conventional methods that you typically wouldn't use. You would use state actors, non-state actors. You would disinformation, and you'd use advanced weaponry. And I think that's what's been being used right now. And the Russians are kind of interesting. They I think their initial attack over Ukraine was shitty. They screwed up, but their successive ones, when they used the Orshov, the way they used their hypersonic missile was interesting. So what they did was,
you mean like the one that they dropped?
Okay, they leaked information on the 20th. They leaked misinformation around the 18th or 19th. So the Americans panicked and they They put out the warning. They said, there's going to be an attack on the 20th. We're going to evacuate our embassy because the Russians are going to attack Kiev. And the Russians put that misinformation. Nothing happened on the 20th. And then I think on the 21st, they launched their hypersonic missiles, which had they were just kinetic. They didn't have nuclear. And it was
we have some complaint that the stream has turned into political crap. So we'll start talking about Aaron Eamholt's PC monitor resolution again.
Okay.
Look at this. Look at this. 100% off. Oh my goodness, Aaron. You can't even buy real monitors. There you go. There's the content you wanted. Okay. So we'll stop talking about
what was the thing with it? What it was really weird because I watched the Steel Toe show and it's not bad.
Wow, you're brave.
What?
No, it's like a morning talk show for boomers.
Yeah, I know. Because the guy's a radio guy, and this is where I think Nick is. You're always saying, "Oh, he's not successful."
Yeah, we'll check Discord. Sure,
he's doing better than Nick.
Messenger Pigeon or something.
He's doing better than Nick.
Yeah, it's not hard though. It's not hard to do better than Nick. Step one, you just do a show.
Oh, you're going to be a target. You're going to be a target.
No, I've been able to dodge most of the target things.
Yeah.
I assume I'll receive criticism at some point in the future. Although Nova's pretty unhappy with me at the moment. He says that I was spouting fake news. Nova, because he says that the Canadian story is all bullshit, but everyone else is saying it's real, so I don't know who to believe.
Well, Nova this doesn't want. He lives in Canada, so he has to live with it, and he doesn't want his guns taken away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he has to play along. Yeah.
Yeah,
he has to stay in line. Yeah.
I don't know. It's on ABC and CBS and everything. Apparently, I'm just parroting the what is it? The Globo Homo agenda. You know what's funny, Max?
What?
Is apparently Globo Homo means global homogeneity, right? I thought it meant like global homosexuals.
Yeah, that's what I don't know. I never heard that term. I thought you were making it up. You know?
I thought global homo was just like a joke about how they wanted to make everybody gay, but apparently they just want to make everything the same. Mm-hmm. So it's global homogeneity. I was like, what the fuck? Really? I mean, I don't know if that's true. I didn't fact check it.
Oh, okay. Well.
But if that's true, that's like actually amazing. I want to look that up. But if I'm worried about searching for it. If I search for Globo Homo,
yeah, your search history is going to be
Globo Homo.
I know what's going to come up. Yeah.
Apparently, it's anti-LGBT. The first result I got is from Globo Homo definition, meaning and origin of anti-LGBT.
Okay.
I don't know. Wiktionary is saying that it means. It means wait, hold on. There's actually so some people are saying it does mean anti-gayness, and there's some people are saying it's trying to make the world everything homogenized. Alt-right, anti-LGBT slur, internet slang, 4chan derogatory. The supposed promotion of homosexuality, neoliberal economics, and progressive values coupled with freedom to corporate and political interests, Globo Homo agenda. I don't know. I don't know what to believe now. I don't know what to believe now. It's so the etymology is uncertain. Often gives a blend of global plus homogenization or globalist plus homosexual. So it could be either one. You can have it both ways. The global homo goes both ways.
Yeah, global homo. Yeah.
It's a very funny word. It's a very funny word though. I like it.
It's really
There's something like there are certain insults in terms that just kind of roll off the tongue. That's why they become like memes and things, right? And I think global homo is one of them. You just say it and you kind of know what people are talking
about. I've never seen it.
You've never seen global homo before?
No, I've never. I just heard it for the first time from you. So
really?
Yeah. So now it's imprinted in my brain. When I come across it later, I'm going to think of you.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not sure that's what I want to be remembered for, but fine.
Yeah, it's too late. It's too late. You're going to get.
Apparently, Nia says that it started as global homogenization, but misunderstandings like you gave it a second meaning. Well, that's better. I like it that way. That's funny. Everyone just assumed it was homos.
Yeah.
I mean, it does work, right? Because they are trying to make the whole world gay.
Damn, where's my? I really.
And Royston with the $2 says Aaron's staying out of trouble and stacking W's. It is true that Aaron is just getting another one for the toe. He's memed it into reality.
Mm-hmm. Oh, here it is. Hold on.
Globo Homo is a part of Big Homo. Yeah. That's another meme that I enjoy, actually. I really like the meme where you just like big something, like big tobacco, but then you make it something really stupid, like
big tobacco. Yeah, this is British American.
No, like big. I don't know, big banana or something. I mean, maybe not that one, but like
I'm gonna do. I got mango. I got 6 milligrams, and I got 3. So hold on. Fuck 2. I have to spit this out.
If you're gay and you've traveled to more than 4 countries, you're a Globo Homo.
So I'm going to do a smaller
I think
one
I've traveled
now.
to exactly 4 countries, but I'm not a homo. So.
Oh God, I only have 3 left. Damn.
Can you not, Max? Can you not do the Zins?
They're not Zins. They're Velos. They're
okay.
About the same thing. I just stick a hot to
Right.
But they're yeah, I drink less when I have these 2. Yeah.
Is it better though? Really?
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, in a certain way. I mean, it's a nicotine.
Ethan Ralph says, "I always win, bish."
Oh, it's a bish.
You should drink more, you fucking chink. Wow, what do you mean by that?
And thanks, man. You fucking chink.
Wow. We do not endorse it. We do not endorse these comments.
Yeah. Well, what's nice recently is I think YouTube is.
Well, it's okay to hate Asians right now. I think that's the way it works.
Oh, you can always. It's always okay to hate Asians. You know, just stack them up and rack them up. I have to look at
the Friday stream brought to you by Big Zen.
So
exactly.
this is the magazine I got. So now I can show it. Aspects of cognitive superiority.
This is such a 500 IQ book. Aspects of cognitive superiority.
Yeah, and so there.
All right, tell me something about
the Russia-Ukraine conflict from a hybrid warfare cognitive perspective. You know the bald guy on the
biggest, like this is a big.
This guy was in town. This guy's a colonel. He's an Austrian colonel. He's with NATO. He was in town. So
this is a big brain book if I ever seen it.
But I like the typeset. See, I don't care about what they say, but the typeset is like it's written on a typewriter. It looks like.
Unfortunately, Aaron can't watch this on his 1080p discounted blurred monitors. You can barely read shit. So,
but look at the big brain on this guy. You know.
Do you know what my favorite book is, Max?
What?
The
Bible.
No.
What is it? I have to give that book back. Damn.
The automated results for what I'm searching for.
Oh, and I got this. Here's a freebie. This is so crap. Microsoft stickers. Ooh. Yeah.
Oh, why can I not find this book?
Oh,
there's no way I can't find this result. Has this been scrubbed from the internet?
The moment where you found, did you get that clip where the moment in that stream the other night where you were looking in that interview and you saw the gay 90s bar? And your reaction was great.
I was like, that was so funny.
That was beautiful.
Shit, I can't find it. But there's a really funny book. It's like a Japanese book, I think, actually, and it's called "Why Do Poor People Be Poor?" It's just like a poor translated book. It's really funny. It's like an old meme.
In Japanese?
But it's called. I think so.
Okay.
But it's literally, if someone has a picture, send it to me, please. It's called "Why Do Poor People Be Poor?" I really want to get a copy of that book. It's so funny.
My struggle. Yeah. Mine. Sorry.
My struggle is eating the 9 McMuffins for $100 a McMuffin or something. What was that? 72?
Yeah, you know how you say my struggle in German?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Mura's Kampf. There you go. Yeah. That's your one. Yes, very good.
Like I always said, look at Aaron Emholt is a doofus, but he works hard. So what we have to learn from this, children, listen up carefully. Shh. It's Arbeit macht frei. You know, work will set you free.
My second favorite book. My second favorite book. We'll get in a little bit of trouble maybe not. But it's not Mein Kampf, but it's called Mein Comfy Chair.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? I love this. That's pretty good. But that reminds me of another. Actually, when I was searching for that, I found another picture that was kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of that thing we saw in Tokyo, that sandwich in Tokyo. This is how I like mine furniture.
Hey, that is not my place.
It's mine place, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Minecrafting, right?
You know, there's it was written in maybe, I can't remember. It was maybe in the early 1900s or maybe it was in the late 1800s. But
I found a boomer meme actually. Oh, why can't I click on this image?
There was a.
This is an old-fashioned internet meme. Look at this. It's the old format. Icon has Poland. Oh, look at that cute kitty. It's so adorable.
It's a real cat.
He wants to has the Poland. It's the cat I has for the cat meme. They're like bad grammar cats.
Oh.
Mine sides. That's a good one. That's a good one. Kittler. Shut the fuck up.
Somebody put that in the chat. Kittler. I thought, yeah, that's really good.
That's pretty funny.
So it was, I can't remember, in the late 1800s, early 1900s, there was a German military officer, and he was stationed in Nagoya, Japan. And
I'm dying. Holy shit!
And he was miserable. And I someone gave me his diary, the pure. Okay. He even got the little umlaut things in there.
That's pretty good. Oh my goodness, chat's so funny sometimes. Sometimes, not all the time. Oh dear.
Okay, so what happened was the guy was miserable. He was in Nagoya and he couldn't speak the language. And
of course, if you're going to be miserable.
Okay, so then I'm in my 20s and I'm working in Nagoya, and it's miserable. And on Thursdays, I go to this bar, and there was a guy named Gunther. It's a great name, Gunther Schilling, and he was from Bavaria, southern Germany, and he was working for He was on assignment for MHI. He was miserable, and he couldn't speak Japanese or English, so we'd be able to talk, and he would just say things like, water is for washing. You have to drink beer, and we'd drink. And he would kind of wait for me. He was a good guy, and then there was a time he had to leave, and he was really sad. And I guess I was the only guy he could really talk to because he was working on assignment in Nagoya, and then I liked him a lot. And he was really proud. He goes, he's not from Germany. He's from Bavaria. He's a Bavarian nationalist. And then when I went on assignment, I had to do the restructuring in Europe and the UK. I thought, fuck, I'm in Germany. So I gave him a phone call, and it was great. It was a lot harder over the phone, but yeah. I didn't get to visit him, though. I didn't have enough time. I was in Dusseldorf, which was not close enough to Bavaria. But that was a great guy. We drank a lot of beers. Yeah.
You meet some interesting characters, Max.
And that was and what I really liked was when I went to Europe, I was with these Japanese on the government restructuring, and they were all like, "Oh, we love Paris," and they love France. I really didn't like Paris. I didn't really like Paris. There was dog shit on the sidewalks, and it was shitty. And I liked Germany, and it was.
Did you get Paris syndrome?
No, I didn't. I didn't have to worry about that shit. But I preferred Germany. I preferred. Even Zurich was dry, but in Switzerland. But I liked it.
So for people that don't know, there's a phenomenon called
Paris syndrome. Yeah,
Paris syndrome. It affects Japanese people. So in Japanese people, they have a really nice view of Paris.
Romanticized view, idealized
view. They have a very romanticized. They go to Paris and there's shit everywhere, and there's migrants, and it smells like piss.
And they get really treated like shit. They get treated like Chinese. They say, "Sorry, you can't buy too many Louis Vuitton."
So a lot of Japanese people that go to France get depression and become want to self-delete themselves. So in Paris, there is a hotline for Japanese people, like a support, don't off yourself line, because when they go to Paris, it's so shit that they need emotional support.
Yeah, so
'Cause they don't realize how bad it is.
Max's goal is to try to recreate the same experience for weeaboos coming to Japan. They're going, oh, it's the land of anime, and I want them to have a terrible experience, so they go home. Yeah.
Yeah, it's even got its own Wikipedia page. Paris syndrome, Paris shokugan, sense of extreme disappointment experienced by individuals when visiting Paris.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so shit over there. Japanese. Why did they pick the shortest people for this picture? Like, this is, you can see the shortness out of this.
Kids. They're school kids, aren't they? They're midgets.
So these are short people.
No, they're midgets. Well,
the Moulin Rouge.
They're midgets. Moulin Rouge.
You ever go to the Moulin Rouge and want to do the jump in front of a train? Oh my goodness, Paris.
Oh, they should go to the catacombs. They have those bodies stored down there, you know, in underground, underneath Paris. It's kind of interesting and creepy. But more Japanese should go there.
Oh my goodness. There's a fortune. The early 2000s.
Hey, wait a minute. Your sound is echoing. It's weird.
Is it really bad?
Yeah, now it's like the same problem as before. I don't know if... Oh, well, now... Hey, I have the show now. It's great. Okay. Let's talk about pussy. Okay. Japanese pussy. See? Look. Tokyo Crown Cat. Hurry up. Come back on. Oh, shit. Look what I got. I got one of these Buddhist things. I don't know what this is, but it's creepy. It's for brainwashing. Why am I the only person on here? Do I really get my own show? Okay, so tonight...
Is it working now?
How's that? It works now, yeah.
Okay. So I just have to leave the studio and come back to fix it, apparently.
Oh.
I forgot what I was going to say now. Shit, what was I talking about?
I have I got a business card of a guy. He has the greatest name. Look at this. It's a barbecue place.
Ethanol Liver Ralph says, would Japanese women be enthralled by a 6-foot American man with a big dick?
Look at this name.
Well, you'd have to be 6 foot.
Pablo Escobar. Yeah. That's a good name.
The Midtown Barbecue. I like that place.
Oh, yeah. It's really good, isn't it?
Is that the one in Yokohama?
No,
I got into an argument. Oh, okay. I got into an argument with the woman that works at the Midtown Barbecue in Yokohama when she was not in Yokohama. Because she didn't know how to do correct squat posture, and I had to teach her. It's a true story. It was like a drunken...
At a restaurant?
No. Hey, so, like, before she was working as a manager of the Midtown Barbecue, she was living as a teacher in the countryside of Japan. And I had a weight set in my room, and she was trying to tell people about squats, and she was just wrong. It was like 3 a.m. We were all drunk. So I went into my house, pulled out my barbell set, and brought it outside to the park. So I was carrying my barbell, like 220 kg plates on either side.
Okay.
And then I was teaching her how to squat at like 3 a.m. and telling her that she doesn't know shit.
Yeah, but who's the tard dragging his dumbbells around in his bar?
You don't get it, Max. You don't get it.
No.
Don't get it.
But look, Pablo Escobar works at...
she had to learn. She had to learn today.
Pablo Escobar. There, see, Pablo Escobar. That's a real name.
Pablo Escobar.
Oop. Shit. Yeah, but look at my pussy. Tokyo Crown Cat.
It's kind of cute.
It is a great tin.
Hmm.
So what are you going to do for this weekend? What do you got planned?
Well, I didn't do enough work today, so I'll probably be working tomorrow. I got to finish my video on ryokans because I allocated this week to finishing the video and I didn't finish it, even though I filmed it in March. So it's very late.
Oh, you went up north, or?
I went to Yamagata. That's when I went to Yamagata. Remember?
Yeah.
And we went to the unagi place after I came back because I've got to start editing the Hiroshima video because they're paying for that, and I got to get that out by Christmas, by like December 25th. So I'm going to be pretty busy. Although on Monday, one of Andrew's friends is coming to Osaka. And I'm going to show him around, so that should be fun.
Oh,
what are you doing this weekend?
Well, I want to Sunday morning is going to be tomorrow. It's just tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to do. I probably will wake up and I got to finish it. I got to give this back. So unless I got to read this. So
I'm glad you didn't pay for that book, Max.
I got it from. I stole it. I have to give it back though. Yeah. But it's good. Christmas is coming up too.
Just reminds me of Black Doctor.
Hiroshima is my favorite.
Do you know Black Doctor, Max?
No, what's the Black? Oh, Blackjack?
Black Doctor. No. He was riding his bike when lightning strikes. He reads real fast. He's good at science and math. Black Doctor. You've never seen that? It's a Whitest Kids You Know sketch.
Yeah.
About like, I think there's the same one with The Grapist. But then they have Black Doctor. We played it once, but we got copyright strike for it, so I can't play it again. And it's like, well, where did he get the bike? He stole it. It's a really good one. Whitest Kids You Know is actually very funny. It's very
we were talking about Nick Rekieta's favorite
Nick Rekieta?
Nick Rekieta, yeah.
Reketamine.
And also we're talking about Germans. So remember that story I haven't done yet, but it's the former CEO of Olympus. He's German, Stefan Kaufmann. He was fired by the board, but he was never. So finally he was indicted.
You know what? Actually, what I do want to do this weekend is I want to find this. Oh wait, I'm not showing my screen because I had to leave the studio. I want to get this. I want to try the mayo drink, the drinkable mayonnaise. No. Nomu mayo. It's literally mayonnaise flavored drink. Everyone hates it. I have to try this before it goes out of fashion.
I think it's disgusting.
I can't find it. Have you tried it?
No.
It's literally drinkable mayonnaise. The Japanese people love it.
We have mayo in our fridge, but I would never drink it. That's just weird. Like, would you drink a sports drink if it tasted like soy sauce? I wouldn't. Maybe you would.
Well, I mean, I eat Vegemite with a spoon, so maybe.
Now, Vegemite is different.
Vegemite is much less salty than soy sauce. I don't know. I want to get sushi tomorrow. I might just go to like Kaiten Sushi or something.
Oh. Okay, this nicotine is weak.
We need to get that Zen sponsorship, Max. If I ever get like a sponsorship for Zens, this channel, I'll accept the sponsorship and send it to you, and you have to review it, so you can get free stuff, free shit.
Oh yeah, I'll do that. They don't have Zins here. They're not allowed because Zins, under Japanese law, Zins are technically synthetic nicotine. Don't
you mean there's synthetic?
Oh yeah, but the Velos by British American Tobacco, it looks like synthetic nicotine, but it's actually nicotine that is derived or extracted from tobacco. So that's why it's allowed. But it's dirt cheap here. It's like $2 a tin for 15.
I realized I had a 4-year-old jar of Vegemite in my house the other day.
Well,
I tasted it. It's still good. Still good.
Yeah, it's going to keep forever. So it's not.
It's great. I didn't even hesitate. I just took a big spoonful of that 4-year-old Vegemite. That's halfway done. I'm like, yep, still good. It's just been sitting in my counter for like literally 4 years through summer and winter and summer and winter, like 4 times. Like it still tastes great. It's still fine. Vegemite, love it.
Somebody asked, do they have the MAOIs? I don't know if they do. I think the problem with the nicotine pouches, if they have the artificial sweeteners in them, the whatever they are, I think they have potassium sorbate as sweetener, and when they do the FDA stuff, it's for like potassium sorbate as a sweetener in a cola, so very little of it goes through into your bloodstream, but when you put potassium sorbate up here or aspartame up here, all of it goes in, and so then probably you're getting risk, like or you're getting some of the side effects. Like it's like those guys who I had friends who quit smoking or quit coffee, and then they would pick up a habit like those sugarless gum, and then they would wonder why they had diarrhea and stuff, because it's a laxative. So you got to stop chewing all that sugarless gum, because
I drink sugarless gum and I don't have the shits.
You're not chewing enough of it. I mean,
how much do I have to? I mean, I don't want to, but how much would I have to?
They're chewing it all, and you might get sugarless gum like xylitol. I don't think xylitol does that, and they say
it's literally xylitol. Yeah, that's the one I've got.
But other sugarless,
I've got it like right here, xylitol.
Yeah. But other substitutes can cause problems.
Like, why? Oh, okay.
Why? Because they're not good for it. Yeah. They're crappy. So whatever you put under the buccal method here, all of it gets absorbed. So if you take a 3 milligram nicotine pouch, 3 milligrams goes in. And then people were trying to say, well, you know, an average cigarette has 1.5 to 3 milligrams of nicotine. I said, yeah, but when you smoke a cigarette, 15% goes in. So one of these is like 10 cigarettes.
Okay.
That's why when you first do it, you don't, you know, a lot of people get sick from the nicotine because it's way too much nicotine in your system.
Is that
right?
Well, Max, I think it's time for me to go.
Yeah, it's almost 1 o'clock, man.
Yeah, it's time to go. But we had a big support today. Did we hit the goal of 800 likes? No, we're short 100 likes. Shit. All right. Well, I'll save those 5 free memberships for next time. For close, chat. So close. 700 likes. You got to do better. Do better. But we're going to get big support. So we'll play us out on a Tax-Free by Lipstick Larry. And then I'm going to go to bed. So anything you want to say before we go?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
All right. Well, I'll see you, boys. Stay tax-free, and I'll see you next week. Peace.
My Zannies, my tax-free. My Zannies, my hookers, my super chats too. Hit that button, cause every single super chat I got it tax-free. Tax-free. Take out your pill bottles, shake your pills, shake your pills, because it's gonna be tax-free. 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 Tell your wiggies that we got it. Tax-free in my little tin shack. Cats flying in tornadoes. Gun flopping up and down. Let's get the guns out. Gun, 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 gun. Shake it around when it's tax-free. Wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle. It's a tip, so it's tax-free. But wiggle. You best not fold the bullshit because these super chats, they all tax-free. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Yo, Faith, don't make me say it. Squeeze. Child support, Faith, it's tax-free. Compass Sneed, cause it's tax-free. That's right, bitch. Now kiss my Gucci hat. I said kiss it. It's authentic, bitch. It's time to gun out. Shake your gun like you mean it. Wiggle, wiggle. Welcome to the kill street. This song. Wiggle, wiggle. What you mean I'm drunk? I'm sober, bitch. Get the fuck out of here. Maybe one more. So take out your pill bottles and shake your pills, and wiggle, 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 wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle. It's a tip, so it's tax-free. But wiggle.